though, boy oh boy. Oh man! The throw a blanket over them. But it's battle stations, white flag comes out. She's on for young and old, this one.
Has he got the job done? Looks like he has on the inside.
The pace is electric out in front.
Okay, folks, we've got a chance to catch up with one of the Australian guys that's come over. Hey, first and foremost, Lance Tulloch, thanks very much for coming over from Australia to bring your style of racing here to New Zealand, mate. Good trip yesterday for yourselves?
For the team, it was good. For myself, not personally, not so great. Blowing clutch, but that's the way it goes.
So what's the plan for today? Obviously this is an individual deal, it's not really a team's deal. Just get out there and try and get some track time, is it?
Yeah, today's more about track time and just a bit of test and tune for next weekend for the big one.
Absolutely, and of course 83 to 83, mate. Who would have thought coming out of Moore Park round, it really does open it up for next week, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it made it exciting. The crowd loved it, so I think next week's going to be a ripper.
Absolutely. Good sponsors that brought you over here. Who looks after you?
Well, I got myself, ATEC. We also sponsor the East Coast Sidecar Roundup. We've got Radley Haulage, a local company here, trucking company, who's taking all the bikes around. Rogers Yamaha, Jetco, and yeah, just the East Coast Sidecar Roundup.
That's, of course, obviously why you Australian guys go so fast, because you've got so many damn sponsors on there. Is there any actually, if you took all those sponsors off, you'd probably go faster. There's that much weight of stickers on there.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. Some of the boys are well sponsored, but yeah, it's not cheap to come over here, so every little bit of help, especially from the locals, it's awesome. You know, it all helps make events like this happen.
Absolutely. Hey, well, best of luck for racing today. We're really looking forward to next week, Dave, but I think we're going to be in for a bit of a treat today. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the boys, it's hard to hold back, but I think, you know, next week's the big one, so look after the bikes, look after the team, and see how we go next week.
Good stuff, Lance. Thanks very much, and best of luck for today.
Thank you. Cheers.
First one out there, there's the number 9 bike, or the 29i of Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers. You'll see, as I say, they're wearing the white helmet, so they are in gate 3. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, that 39 bike, they are with the red helmet, so that signifies gate 1. The green helmet,
I forgot to mention, Pete is the guy in the red helmet. Andrew Buchanan is also the Aussie number 2, so we've got Aussie number 2 racing against Aussie number 1 here tonight too.
Yeah, hey, thanks for that, Jeff. The number 3 of Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox with the blue cover on, or they should have a blue cover on, but they haven't. They are in gate 2. The 8 bike is Lance Tulloch and Tim Green from Australia in gate 4. So just the 4 of them here, lining up. Let the action begin. The Extreme Karts East Coast Sidecar Roundup. Jeff Gardam all happy, starter happy, Cape's going away. They go, oh, Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox get up in the air as they get away. But that Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox, they're the first ones down in the turn. Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox are right there with them. They overhaul them as they go down through that Sono Systems back straight. Down through the C. Brown Builders turn they come. It's Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox that are leading the way from the bike of Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox from Queensland there. Then we've got Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers sitting in that third position. And back in the fourth place there's Lance Tulloch and Tim Green. While Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, number 2 Australia, out in front here as they come through the start-finish straight once again. In that second spot, still Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox. In that third spot, it's Luke Twaits, and Neville Chalmers. And rounding them out, Lance Tulloch, Tim Green. Still Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox as they come through here with 1 lap left to go. Still in second spot, Hamish Goulding, Liam Cox. Still in that third place, Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers. There's been no change as they head back down through that GoPro turn. Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox, they keep it down low. Through they come. Jeff Garnham flags them home. So they will take the win. Second place going to Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox. Third place going to Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers. And fourth place there to Lance Tulloch and Tim Green. Well, fast and furious. Race 1, done and dusted. Heat 1 for the sidecars. Coming out in Heat 2, the current Aussie champs. Number 1, Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone coming out of Gate 1. The 95 of Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin in the blue helmet cover coming out of Gate 2. The 6 bike of Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield with the white helmet cover, Gate 3. That's the 6 bike. The 16i of Jason Harper and Mark George with the yellow helmet cover will be coming out of Gate 4. As I say, this heat sponsored by ATEC. Jeff Happy, tapes up and away they go. Who gets the best of the start? Down from Gate 1, it looked like Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone. Oh, there's somebody come unstuck there. There's a red flag out. Red flag. So that looked like Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield, was it? That must have had a bit of a come together with somebody, did they? I'm not sure. I didn't see it. He tumbled down the track. So Steve up on his feet and walking around now. Chris Chatfield on his feet as well. Not too sure what happened there. I've got a bit of a blind spot in this control tower as they take off from the line. I just missed what happened there, unfortunately.
Canterbury's leading source of top quality new and used van parts. Situated at 166 Macy's Road, Christchurch, City South, Van Spears has a vast range of late model quality parts for a wide range of vans, new and used. Also specialising in mechanical repairs. There is a qualified mechanic on site and fully equipped workshop. We even do warranty fitnesses as well. It's one stop and it's your shop. City South, Van Spears and Repairs, both sides of Macy's Road, Bromley, Christchurch.
Sebright Blasting Panel and Paint are Southland's commercial go-to place when it comes to the big jobs. From restoration projects that require an expert touch, our team of professionals will sort those bumps and bruises out. Industrial coating, chassis alignment, through to engineering and marine coatings. Offering the latest technology in spray booth, the team will colour it and seal it to perfection. Let us blast any of your products ready to bring it back to life. We do it all. Sebright Blasting Panel and Paint, 90 Preston Street, Invercargill.
Chris Chatfield, Gate 3. Speedway. And Gate 4, the 16i of Jason Harper and Mark George. Jeff Garnham bringing them up. Our starter will be happy. Tapes up, they're underway once again. And out of Gate 2 this time, Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin got the best of it. So Trent Headland, Daz Whetstone have got all the work to do there in that second spot. Jason Harper, Mark George are sitting there in that third place. It looks like Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield have run into a bit of a problem. Through they come, Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin. They lead the way from the current Australian champion, who is Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone sitting there in that second spot. Through that Permacoat roofing turn, they go with Jason Harper and Mark George sitting there in that third position. Round they come out of that E. Hayes turn. It's still Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin, who lead the way from Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone as they come out of that McLeod diesel turn and down that extreme carts back straight they go. Down through the South Coast Customs turn. Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin, they've got the drop on the Aussie champs, Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone, who are still there in second place. Third place, Jason Harper and Mark George. And fourth place is Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield. Well, look at this. Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin had a fantastic day yesterday, and they're rounding it off again here today with another brilliant ride to actually get the drop on the Aussie champs, who came in second place, Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone, and also a man who had a good day in the office yesterday, Jason Harper and Mark George, who filled out that third position. Well, absolutely fantastic. Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin, put your hands together for those folks, them folks. They have done a fantastic job of getting out of that gate really, really smartly and heading off the current Aussie champs. So that just shows you the calibre of sidecar riding and what it's coming to in New Zealand. A brilliant ride. He'll be so stoked about that. He will dine out on that for months to come, I tell you. In Heat 3 of the sidecars, we've got the 44i of James Douglas and Harley Biddle, who will come out of gate 1. We've got Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden from New South Wales on the 4 bike. They're coming out of gate 2. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat will come out of gate 3. The 11 bike of Fraser Gillespie and Nigel Cookow will come out of gate 4. And the 84 bike of Stan Ross and Chris Leedon will come out of gate 5. This heat is sponsored by Radley Haulage. A big thanks to them for transporting the bikes around the country. They can't do enough, and they've climbed on board with their sponsorship. So a big thanks to Radley Haulage for their input here. And they are the sponsors of Heat 3 of the sidecars. Jeff Garnham just getting the road cone out there, stop those tapes. A bit of a breeze blowing, so they just stop anybody from touching the tapes. This time, tapes up, they're underway. Who gets the best of it? That's a 7 bike of Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat. They got away fairly smartly. Coming through underneath them, James Douglas and Harley Biddle as they drag down that back straight. Through they come. Still Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat just in front of James Douglas, Harley Biddle. Then we've got Fraser Gillespie, Nigel Cookow sitting there in that 3rd position. And the Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden, is it, that are in that 4th spot. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon back there in that 5th position. Through they come once again down this front straight. It's still Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat sitting there in that 2nd spot. In the red helmet covers, James Douglas and Harley Biddle sitting there in 2nd. 3rd place is Fraser Gillespie, Nigel Cookow. 4th place still Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden. And 4th place is Stan Ross and Chris Leedon. So back down through that South Coast Customs turn they come. Still Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat leading the way. 2nd place is going to go to James Douglas and Harley Biddle. 3rd place is going to go to Fraser Gillespie and Nigel Cookow. 4th place is going to go to Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden. And 5th place going to Stan Ross and Chris Leedon. Well, Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat, that new motor definitely getting well and truly run on after the caning it got up at Moore Park yesterday and here again today. And the boys are really showing their class here on their home track. Right, Heat 4 of the sidecars. In gate 1 in the red helmet cover, Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell. In beside them with the blue helmet cover, Craig McMaster, Johnny Casey. In gate 3, the 7 bike of Mark Radford and Blake Halls from Victoria. And in the yellow helmet in gate 4, the 78i of Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson. This heat sponsored by Side Carnage Fairings over there in Australia. They're the folks that sponsored all the fairings on the bikes here today. They've made an absolutely wicked looking job of those two. They look absolutely very, very classy. So They are on board with sponsorship here as well for this East Coast Sidecar Roundup. So Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell from New South Wales down there in gate 1. In beside them, Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey. Let's hope they're going to get going. No, it looks like they're out. So just leaves Mark Radford, Blake Halls, Paul Humphries and Patrick Larson. Tapes are up, they're underway. It's Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell from New South Wales that get away fairly smartly, but they've got Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson sitting there in that second place, and third place is Mark Radford and Blake Halls in that white helmet cover. So through they come, the red helmet cover of Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell leading the way from Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson. They've opened it up a little bit now as they head down that back straight. And sitting back there in that third place is Mark Radford and Blake Hall. There's no change as they come back down through the home straight here. Out of that Permacoat roofing turn they go. It's still Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell leading the way from Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson as they come to get the white flag with 1 lap left to run. And still sitting back there in that third place is Mark Radford and Blake Halls. It looks like they've come to grief down in that bottom corner as well. Well, they've slowed up something considerably and got going again. But anyway, Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell, they will take the win from the 78 bike of Paul Humphries and Patrick Larson. And coming in a distant third there is Mark Radford and Blake Halls, who had a bit of a problem coming out of turn 4. They almost looks like they stopped. Seabright Autos, Oreti Park Speedway, Heat 5 for the sidecars. We'll see the 58 of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss in gate 1. The 5 of Jane Hinton and Marty Wild from New South Wales in gate 2. The 19I of Scott Ado, Dylan Carney will be in gate 3. And in gate 4, the busy combination of Claire Hartnell and Chris Chatfield, who climbs on to the pink team bike in gate 4. So slowly lining them up here. Coming into gate 2, James Hinton, Marty Wild. Down in gate 1, Aidan Twaits, Shane Twiss, slowly working their way in. Into gate 3, Scott Ado, Dylan Carney. And the 85 of Claire Hartnell and Chris Chatfield. Jeff Garnham all happy. Oh, Claire Hartnell creeps a little. Tapes up, they're underway. So from the middle, looks like James Hinton, Marty Wild got away fairly smartly. Who's coming out the red helmet cover of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss as they go down that back straight, followed closely by James Hinton and Marty Wild in that second position. Third place is Scott Ado, Dylan Carney, and fourth place is Claire Hartnell and Chris Chatfield as they come out of that South Coast Customs turn and down that Sono Sound Systems back straight. Down through they come, Aidan Twaits, Shane Twiss leading the way from James Hinton and Marty Wild. Getting closer to them there is Scott Ado, Dylan Carney still sitting there on that third place, looking to slide up underneath them as they come out of that Permacoat roofing turn. But make no bones about Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. They've stamped a handy lead here as they come through for the white flag with 1 lap left to run. It's still James Hinton, Marty Wild sitting there in that second spot, and Scott Ado, Dylan Carney sitting there in that third place, and Claire Hartnell, Chris Chatfield back there in that fourth position. But Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss, they're going to take the win. Second place is going to be James Hinton and Marty Wild. Third place will go to Scott Ado and Dylan Carney. And fourth place there to Claire Hartnell and Chris Chatfield. Well, Aidan Twaits, Shane Twiss, a popular hometown win over James Hinton and Marty Wild from New South Wales. Great stuff from Aidan and Shane. holding out James Hinton and Marty Wild, who came in second place. Scott Ado, Dylan Carney trying everything they could to get that second place, but having to be content with third position.
Saunders, mate, that was a bit of an exciting wee crash there. I see you holding that arm a wee bit there. Nothing too major wrong with you?
No, I come over here with a bit of a bung wrist and just knocked it then. You know, nothing I can't suck up and just keep going. All good.
You had a bit of a look at the replay now. You can see that it wasn't entirely anybody's fault. It was just one of those racing incidents, and I think it actually stemmed from your countryman knocking into Irwin, and of course then bounced off him and then into you. So a bit of a wild ride to start with.
Yeah, that's why they call me Wild Child, but goes with the name. So bring on the rest of the day. All good.
Now, of course, you're at Oreti Park Speedway. First time here?
Yeah, love it.
Amazing track, isn't it?
Yeah, nice and fast. The way I like it.
Absolutely. So no impact, no damage, no nothing to you. You'll be all good to go, ready for the next heat.
Even if it was damage, I'd still go.
Good stuff, mate. Good sponsor, look after you. Who does?
Yeah, mate. I got Snake Charmer Choppers, Venom Trailers, Outdoor Cleaning Specialist, True Blue Law Maintenance, Team P Tyres, TRE Racing, High Life Customs, and Black Chrome Sportswear, and South Pinner Smash Repairs.
Well done, mate. Hey, well, it's good to see you're okay, eh? And for God's sake, look after yourself. There we go, folks. Of course, that was Steve. And, of course, he's one of the guys that come over from Australia to compete here at this bit of a challenge. It's nothing really major on the line today. The guys have actually said they're going to keep it reasonably quiet. They want to look after their bikes next Saturday. That's the big one. That's the one that they all want. Track maintenance at the moment. We've got the juniors all lined up, ready to go. Stay tuned to the Pits TV. More coverage to come.
This heat here sponsored by AJ Auto Electrical. Big thanks to those folks down there for everything they do for the sport of Speedway. The tape's going away, they go. Once again, it's the 29 of Braxton Casey who hits the lead. I think, is that the 5 of Eli Bartley sitting there in that second spot? Then it looks like, is that the 66? No, sorry, it's the 41 of Ryland Casey sitting there in that third spot. Then we've got Caden Cracknell on the 66 bike in that fourth spot, and Taylor Wells Moore rounds them out. But it's Braxton Casey that's got the handy lead over the 5 of Eli Bartley, who's just getting overhauled now there by Ryland Casey as they come back down through turns 3 and 4. The white flag comes out. They've got one to go. In that fourth spot there is Caden Cracknell. And the win going to Braxton Casey. Second place is going to go to the 41 of Ryland Casey. Third place goes to the 66 of Caden Cracknell. Then the 5 of Eli Bartley in that fourth spot, and Taylor Wells Moore on the 88 bike will take out that fifth position. As I say, that heat sponsored by AJ Auto Electrical Limited down there in Victoria Ave. This next heat of the 200cc Junior Solos sponsored by Becker's Motorcycle Tours New Zealand Limited, and we will see the 25i of Ryan Cole. What's happening here? Peewee Division 2, sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. The 44 of Sam Coulthard, the 7 of Alexia Askew, and the 9 of Slade Fordyce. Lining up here, Peewee Division 2. And out of the middle there was Alexia Askew, was it? On that 7 bike, who's taking the lead from the 44 of Sam Coulthard, who's trying to get round the outside of her there, and the 9 of Slade Fordyce, sorry, who's running second, and it's Alessia Askew that's running third there. I'll get it all right in the end, I'm telling you. The 44 of Sam Coulthard leading the pack. From the 9 of Slade Fordyce and the 7 of Alexia Askew. So a good win here to Sam on that 44 bike. Sam Coulthard takes the win from the 9 of Slade Fordyce, and in that third spot the 7 of Alexia Askew. That was the Becker's Motorcycle Tours New Zealand Limited sponsored heat. Now we go to the Junior Solos, heat 1 for them. Ryan Colvin on the 25 bike will be out of gate 1. The 21 of Lucas Colvin will be out of gate 2. The 28 of Hayden Brooklyn will be out of gate 3. And the 10 of Corey Russell will come out of gate 4. This heat sponsored by C. Brown Builders Limited. Corey Russell up on the outside there. Hayden Brooklyn in beside him. Tapes go and away they go. And it's the 21i of Lucas Colvin that gets away fairly smartly. Hayden Brooklyn sitting there in that second spot. The 25 of Ryan Colvin there in that third place, and the 10 of Corey Russell sitting in that fourth position. So it's the 21 of Lucas Colvin getting hunted down by the 28 of Hayden Brooklyn sitting there in that second spot. Then the 25 of Ryan Colvin in that third spot, and the 10 of Corey Russell in that fourth position. They've got 1 lap left to go. It's still the 21 of Lucas Colvin from the 28 of Hayden Brooklyn in that second place. So a good win there to Lucas Colvin. Second place going to Hayden Brooklyn. Third place going to the 25 of Ryan Colvin. And fourth place there going to the 10 of Corey Russell. Right, junior solos, the 125s, heat 1. We'll see the 11i of Tyler Bain Hoy, the 55i of Dakota Kringle, and the 86i of Finn Reid. This heat sponsored by City Chiropractic. Down at 328 Tay Street. They do all your chiropractic servicing, whether you need your ankles, backs, shoulders, arms, elbows, whatever. They will straighten you out and sort you out. Junior solos, 125s, heat 1. Just waiting for Finn Reid. Here he comes. So Tyler Bain Hoy sitting down there in gate 1. Dakota Kringle in the middle there, gate 2. And the 86 of Finn Reid, gate 3. Oh, the tapes fail to go up properly. Bit of a hiccup. There'll be a red flag. Lining up once again. Tyler Bain Hoy, Dakota Kringle and Finn Reid. Just a wee test of those tapes. They seem to be working. The City Chiropractic sponsored heat take 2 of heat 1. This time, once again, the tapes fail to go up. Dakota just about pulls himself off his bike as he gets out the gate. I think we might go to a flag start, folks. Jeff Garnham just explaining how he's going to move the flag for the boys to start. So they've all got the tapes, the flag goes up, down, and the boys go. So, Tyler Bain Hoy goes down, so there'll be a red flag, I'd imagine. Dakota Kringle was getting away fairly smartly. Tyler Bain Hoy taking a wee bit of a tumble there. So, not too sure. Will they park him up and just have Finn Reid and Dakota Kringle in this, or what? So this time, just Dakota Kringle and Finn Reid left. Dakota Kringle gets away and out he goes. Finn Reid's got to try and chase him down as they get down through turns 3 and 4. It's Dakota Kringle with a reasonable lead now over Finn Reid. Young Finn slides through turns 1 and 2. Dakota sliding through turns 3 and 4. Finn Reid on that 86 bike, hot on his tail. The 55 of Dakota Kringle dominating here at the moment though, as he heads down to the south end of the track. Through he comes. White flag comes out. He's got 1 to go. Round through turns 1 and 2 he goes. Finn Reid still there in that second spot. So a good win coming up to Dakota Kringle here. He'll take the win from Finn Reid on that 86 bike. So the 55 of Dakota Kringle is the victor. Finn Reid on that 86 bike is in second spot. Right, heat 2 of the junior solos, the 125s. We'll see the 14i of Cormac Buchanan in gate 1. The 44i of Mason Coulthard will be in gate 2. And the 53i of Jacob Vorkamp will be in gate 3. This heat is sponsored by Crackers Contracting. They do pile driving, you name it, they can make it happen. You get a contact with Dwayne Cracknell for that. Crackers Contracting. So the way they go, it looks like once again Cormac Buchanan stamping a bit of dominance on this. Mason Coulthard sitting there in that second place, and Jacob Vorkamp comes down as I go to mention his name down there in turn 3. So through they come, still Cormac Buchanan over the 44 of Mason Coulthard, and Jacob Vorkamp gets himself back underway again on that 53 bike. White flag comes out, it's Cormac Buchanan sliding back down through turns 1 and 2 he goes. In that second spot, still Mason Coulthard, and the 53 of Jacob Vorkamp sitting in that third spot. So there we have it, Cormac Buchanan taking the win from Mason Coulthard and the 53 of Jacob Vorkamp. Right, back to the big track we go, and the Creation Sign sponsored heat of the A-grade solos, and we will see the 4 of Adam Shuttleworth coming out alongside brother Daniel on that 16 bike, and the 11 of Jake Gillespie. Rightio, coming up into line here for the Creation Sign sponsored heat of the A-grade solos. Adam Shuttleworth down at gate 1, Daniel Shuttleworth gate 2, Jake Gillespie gate 3, and from gate 3 Jake Gillespie gets out and cuts across the face of the field as they go down through that South Coast Customs turn. He'll take the lead from that second place of Daniel Shuttleworth, Adam Shuttleworth, and then Daniel Shuttleworth sitting there in that third position. Through they come, Jake Gillespie leads the charge from the 4 of Adam Shuttleworth and the 16 of Daniel Shuttleworth. Down that Scarecrow Gardening, back straight and back down through that Total Conveyor turn they go. It's Jake Gillespie leading the way from Adam Shuttleworth on that 4 bike, and the 16 bike of Daniel Shuttleworth in that third position. There's been no change. Back down that Extreme Carts, back straight they go. Through that Permacoat Roofing turn, out of that Rogers Yamaha turn they come. It's still Jake Gillespie leading the way from Adam Shuttleworth, still there in that second spot, and brother Daniel still there in that third position. So through that Seabright turn they come, and it's Jake Gillespie who'll take the win from the 4 bike of Adam Shuttleworth and the 16 bike of Daniel Shuttleworth in that third position. So the 11i of Jake Gillespie taking the win. Right, B-grade solos, heat 1. The 46 of Jimmy Hannon, the 9 of Zane Pay, the 15 of Devlin Joseph, the 24 of Phil Coulthard, the 48 of Pat Dysart, and the 17 of Paul Highstead. So a good field of B-graders here today. 6 across the line. Devlin Joseph obviously forgotten something. The bike's parked up and he's run to the pits. He's called for 2 minutes. So I'll run through them once again. The 46i of Jimmy Hannon going to be in gate 1. I haven't seen Jimmy out there yet. Is he there? Oh, 46 is out. So Zane Pay will take gate 2 on the 9 bike. Devlin Joseph, who we're waiting on to come back, will take gate 3. The 29i of Phil Coulthard is in gate 4. The 48i of Pat Dysart in gate 5. And the 17 of Paul Heisted, who looks like he's going to go off to 30 metres, is he? Is coming through gate 6. Zane Pay down there in gate 2, and beside him Devlin Joseph gate 3, Phil Coulthard on that 29 bike, gate 4, and out on the outside here the 48 of Pat Dysart. Pay's going away they go. Looks like Devlin Joseph got out fairly smartly, so did Pat Dysart. Oh, Pat Dysart goes down, and Phil Coulthard is in that 4th spot now. So Devlin Joseph leads them through as they come down through that Permacoat roofing turn. In second place there is the 15 of Devlin Joseph. It's the 9 of Zane Pay, who leads the charge. Then we've got Phil Coulthard on that 29 bike in that 3rd spot. Not too sure what's happened to Paul Heisted. He's come infield as well as Pat Dysart, who took a tumble down there in turn 1. So Zane Pay leading the way from Devlin Joseph in that 2nd spot and Phil Coulthard in that 3rd position. Down through that, past that Seabright sign they come. 1 lap left to go, still Zane Pay, just narrowly from Devlin Joseph, who's getting on his back wheel now as they come out of that GoPro turn and back down that Extreme Karts back straight. Still Zane Pay from Devlin Joseph as they come out of that Rogers Yamaha turn. Oh, and it's Zane Pay just narrowly by half a bike length from Devlin Joseph, and 3rd place there to Phil Coulthard on that 29 bike. In the classic solos today, heat 1 for them, race 13 on the program. You'll see the 69 of Joe Hughes, the 91 of Les Payne, and the 71 of Derek McRae. Joe Hughes will come out of gate 1 on that 69 bike. The 91 of Les Payne will come out of gate 2. And Derek McRae on that 71 bike will come out of gate 3. This heat sponsored by Dave Bartley from Harcourt's Invercargill. So takes up and away they go. Joe Hughes, first one down into the turn. Sitting in beside him there, Les Payne. Coming round the outside is Derek McRae. They're all fairly close together as they come out of that Rogers Yamaha turn. It's still Joe Hughes though, just in front of Les Payne. Les Payne slides underneath him as they go down through that Seabright Autos turn. And Joe Hughes goes back to 2nd. Derek McRae back there in 3rd position. Round they come. Les Payne leading the way. Derek McRae's moved up into 2nd. Joe Hughes gone back to 3rd as they go down that Sono Sound Systems back straight for the final time. So a good win here to Les Payne on that 91 bike. 2nd place going to Derek McRae on the 71 bike. And 3rd place going to Joe Hughes on that 69 bike. this heat sponsored by South Coast Customs, Sidecar Frame Builders, Gary Stengy's over there in Queensland. Proud sponsors of this East Coast Sidecar Roundup. So sitting there waiting, Jason Harper, Mark George on that 16 bike. Just waiting for Aidan Thwaites and Shane Twist to take their place in beside them. Are they not coming out? Obviously not, just the three of them. So Aidan and Shane are out of that. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat sitting there in gate 4. Oh no, here they come. Tapes up, they're underway. Who gets the best of it? Looks like Jason Harper, Mark George are going to be those first ones down on that turn, but Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat trying to get round the outside of them and cutting through underneath them in that white helmet was Aidan Thwaites and Shane Twist. So Aidan and Shane take the lead from Jason Harper, Mark George. Coming through into that third position is Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat, and Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey putting a bit of pressure on them as they come down through that South Coast Customs turn. It's Aidan Thwaites and Shane Twist leading the way through that Rogers Yamaha turn. They go Jason Harper, Mark George still there in that second spot with Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat just overhauling them now as they go down through that back straight. Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey sitting there in that fourth position. 1 lap left to run for Aidan Thwaites and Shane Twist as they go out of that McLeod diesel turn. Second place is Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat. Third place is Jason Harper and Mark George, and Craig McMaster, Johnny Casey round them out. But Aidan Thwaites and Shane Twist, they take a comfortable win here over the 24 bike of Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat. In that third position was Jason Harper and Mark George. And fourth place there going to Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey. And Jason Harper, Mark George got out fairly smartly. Aidan Thwaites, Shane Twist though managed to slide underneath them as they came out of that McLeod diesel turn in turn 2 there. Got in front and were never headed. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat trying to chase down Jason Harper, Mark George, but couldn't quite do it, so they had to be content with third. Right, this heat of the East Coast Sidecar Roundup sponsored by Creation Signs. We will see the 8 of Lance Tulloch and Tim Green coming out of gate 2. Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell will come out of gate 3 on the number 2 bike. The number 6 bike of Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield will come out of gate 4. And out of gate 5, Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden. So Lance Tulloch, Tim Green from Queensland. All Australian affair this one. Heat 7 of the sidecars. Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell. Gate 3, Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield. Gate 4, tapes go and away they go. From the middle of the pack, the 2 bike, Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell look like they're the ones that are going to come out in front as they head down that extreme karts back straight into that second spot. It looks like it's Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield. Right, sliding underneath is Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden on Lance Tulloch and Tim Green. Down through that, past that Seabright Autos blasting panel and paint sign they go. It is the white helmet of Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell who lead the way from Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield. Third place there is Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden. And fourth spot is Lance Tulloch and Tim Green. Well, fast and furious stuff. They spread out a little here now. It's still the bike of Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell that lead the way from Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield. That looks like Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden try to put a bit of a move on them. Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield still sitting in that third place. So a good win there to Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell. Second place going to Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden. So Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell come out the victors from Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield in that second spot. Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden fill third position, and fourth place goes to Lance Tulloch and Tim Green. Right, sidecars, Heat 8, sponsored by Mitas. We've got 4 was excluded apparently. Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden, they must have had a pole line infringement, so there we go. Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden lose that third spot, and Lance Tulloch and Tim Green will take that spot. So the 84i of Stan Ross and Chris Leedon in this one, Heat 8, race 16 in the program. They're in gate 1, the 84 bike. The 78 of Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson are in gate 2. Gate 3 is Trent Hedlund and Daz Whetstone, who are the current Australian champs. In beside them, the 19 of Scott Ado and Dylan Carney. And in beside them in gate 5, the 3 of Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox from Queensland. A busy affair here, 5 across the line. Pace up and underway, and it looks like Trent Hedlund, Daz Whetstone, they got out fairly smartly, but it's that white bike of Paul Humphreys and Patrick Larson that come out in front. Stan Ross and Chris Leedon are in that second spot. The third place, I think, is Trent Hedlund and Daz Whetstone, is it? I'm not sure. There's a bit of action going on here as they come through. But it's Paul Humphreys, Patrick Larson at the moment leading the way from Trent Hedlund and Daz Whetstone. Then we've got Stan Ross and Chris Leedon, who've just got spat out the back door as I speak their name. Through they come once again. It's Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox that are in that third place now. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon have gone back to fourth, and Scott Ado, Dylan Carney in fifth spot. So Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson, they've gone back to second. It's Trent Hedlund and Daz Whetstone that are leading the way from Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson. Third place is I've got a bit confused here, but it's Trent Hedlund and Daz Whetstone that take first place. Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox take second place. Third place goes to Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson. I got a bit mixed up with those 2 white bikes down the bottom end of that course there. I wasn't too sure who was who, and I lost my momentum for a moment there. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon took out fourth, and I think it was Scott Ado, Dylan Carney in that fifth position. So the current Aussie champs, Trent Hedlund and Daz Whetstone, took the win there after a bit of a battle. Oh yeah, Scott Ado, Dylan Carney, got fourth, and it was Stan Ross and Chris Leedon that took out that fifth place. Right, Heat 9 for the sidecars. The 85 of... 3 was excluded out of that one, they're telling me. So Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox were excluded. We're hearing down from the officials, obviously for some type of infringement. Pole line infringement it was. So Claire Hartnell, Chris Chatfield, they'll take gate 2. James Douglas, Harley Biddle in gate 3. Luke Twaits, Neville Chalmers, gate 4. And out on the outside here, Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin on that 95 bike. This one sponsored by Stadium LED. Tapes going away they go. It looks like James Douglas, Harley Biddle, they got away reasonably smartly, but from the outside, Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin were the first ones down to the turn, but once again, James Douglas, Harley Biddle, they take control. They're out in front. Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin sitting there in that second place. Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers are in third spot. and 4th place there is Claire Hartnell and Chris Chatfield. Well, look at Urban Tree. He's trying to slide underneath of James Douglas as they come out of that C-right turn. He doesn't quite do it. He's right on his tail. James Douglas, Harley Biddle, slide down into that Rogers Yamaha turn. Urban Tree, Brett Pubbin still there in that 2nd spot. 3rd place is Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers. And 4th place is Claire Hartnell and Chris Chatfield. Down they come. James Douglas, Harley Biddle get a little out of shape, but they've got 1 lap left to run. Back down through turns 1 and 2 they go once again. Once again, Urban Tree, Brett Pubbin close it up. They don't quite pull it off though. As they go down through that GoPro turn once again, it's still James Douglas and Harley Biddle from Urban Tree and Brett Pubbin. And 3rd place is going to go to Aidan Thwaites and Shane Twist. Well, what a battle out front. James Douglas, Harley Biddle doing everything they could to keep out Urban Tree and Brett Pubbin, who fought bravely for that 2nd spot. 3rd place going to Aidan Thwaites Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers. And 4th place there going to Claire Hartnell and the busy Chris Chatfield, jumping from one bike to the other. Right, Heat 10 for the sidecars. This one sponsored by Top Line Speedway Supplies. We'll see the 11 of Fraser Gillespie and Nigel Cookow coming out of gate 2. The 39 of Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox coming out of gate 3. Mark Radford and Blake Halls on the 7 bike coming out of gate 4. And the number 5 bike of James Hinton and Marty Wild from New South Wales will come out of gate 5. So the 11 of Fraser Gillespie, Nigel Cookow, gate 2. The 39, Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox, gate 3. The 7 of Mark Radford and Blake Halls coming out of gate 4. And James Hinton and Marty Wild out on the outside here in gate 5. Hopes up and underway. So, Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, they're the first ones out of that turn, and that James Hinton, Marty Wild have gone up into that 2nd place. Mark Radford and Blake Halls have to be content with 3rd. So I'm not sure what happened to Fraser Gillespie, but anyway, Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, they'll lead the charge. Trying to slide down underneath is James Hinton and Marty Wild. They slip up into that 2nd spot. 3rd place now, Mark Radford and Blake Halls. Through they come once again. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox. He's got the handy lead now. There's just the battle on here for 2nd and 3rd. It looks like Mark Radford and James Hinton fighting it out here. Looks like Mark Radford once again hits that 2nd place, and Blake Halls set 3rd place. James Hinton and Marty Wild. Still Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox well and truly out in front here. James Hinton, Marty Wild still in that 2nd place. 3rd place is Mark Radford and Blake Halls, and that's the way they will finish. So a good win to Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox, the current number 2 Australian champs, the Kiwis who are 2nd in Australia. I know that sounds funny, doesn't it? James Hinton, Marty Wild in the green helmet, they were the ones that came through in that 2nd place, and 3rd place was Mark Radford and Blake Halls on that 7 bike. So once again, folks, we're going to go into a little bit of track maintenance.
Hey folks, welcome back to Oreti Park Speedway for this. It's an individual deal, isn't it, Urban Tree, from the 95 bike?
Yep, no, individual deal today. It's everyone for themselves. None of us pairing up for a team, so she's all out, mate.
I see you had a bit of a nasty one right at the start of the meeting there, where you had a bit of a contact with a guy, not in your fault either, but it must have given you the wee bit of a fright, did it?
Oh, it was a wee bit of a fright, but it sort of worked in our favour really, because when we got pushed out in that start, I thought, oh, here we go, it's all over. But the restart, we managed to get it, and I don't know, it's one of those things of, I said to Brett earlier, I said the goal for this series is to stay with Trent and be able to keep up with him and that on the pace. But I said, oh shit, mate, I said we might as well, if we beat him, we might as well retire because he's the best in the world, really.
Absolutely, and I did hear Pete Hosey actually saying, that this will be bragging rights for months to come. So, obviously Pete knows you too well, doesn't he?
Oh, he sure does, mate. He's known me since I was a wee tyke, so yeah, knows me pretty well.
Absolutely, bike's going good. Obviously, good couple of wins there. Not so great in the last one, though, second placing, but still on the pace, right up the, what's his name's butt.
Yeah, no, right up JD's bum. It was, we won the first one. There was a second race. It was actually it was very fast, clean, no pushing. It was heaps of fun, eh?
Brett, you got the best of the best here, mate. You must be just loving it and having a bit of fun there, trying to get as much of that experience you can from these guys while they're here.
Yeah, definitely. This East Coast Sidecar Roundup thing's unreal, eh? Like, it's good that have these guys come over and we get a chance to run with them, eh? It's awesome.
Well, you was obviously up on the pace there, so you really gives you a good opportunity to gauge how you are against, well, obviously the rider, the swinger here. So it gauges where you're at. Are you happy with where you're at as a combination?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going good at the moment, I reckon. We're fucking really enjoying it, eh?
Absolutely, and some good sponsors too look after you, and who does?
Yep, we've got the main ones are Newfield Autos, Osborne Engineering and Bluff. There's a few other ones and it's pretty hard to remember them sometimes, but they all know who they are. Good big shout out to Alan Saunders, it's your 70th, mate. Sorry we couldn't be there tonight. We dropped in the photo last night and the look on your face was priceless, so I hope you're having fun and enjoying it.
We're giving him a free live stream, so he should be happy.
Yeah, hopefully he should be right.
Okay, folks, that's Erwin Tree, of course, and Brett Pubbin joining us here. I'm going to get Pete Hosey to come over and have a bit of a chat to us while we've got the opportunity to. He is the voice of Oreti Park Speedway, and we'll bring him over here just so we can introduce Pete. Many people will know him anyway, Pete, and you'll be loving this, mate. This is right up your alley.
Tell you what, mate, Sidecar Racing at its best, but, this is what it's all about. I'm a wee bit sad that we haven't got around to the Sidecar Super Cup this season, but I'll tell you what, mate, this more than makes up to it. I was talking to Andrew Buchanan earlier on. Hopefully next season we'll get around to that Super Cup back. But hey, what more could you ask for? This here, it's absolutely fantastic. I thought Moore Park was absolutely brilliant. Here on the bigger track, these guys are just excelling themselves, and the likes of Erwin and Brett pulling one out over the Aussies, mate. That was just the Aussie champs, I might add.
Absolutely. That was one thing, that was one of the things we cracked up when we heard it. You're right. He's going to brag about it for months.
Oh, he'll dine out on that for probably years to come, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so you've obviously enjoyed Moy Park yesterday, but this is another level, isn't it? Really good.
Yeah, well, bigger, wider track, and the weather's a lot warmer. And as I say, the atmosphere here at the home track, I just love it, Jason. It's absolutely fantastic. And what you guys do is a real benefit to the sport. And I take my hat off to you, mate. You're doing an awesome job.
Oh, thanks, we do. But, mate, we're just the guys that are capturing the stars, mate. And it was one of the things that I always felt is that we're not capturing the people that really matter, and so that's why we do it. But you better go, because there's some racing about to start, eh? All right, folks, so that's Pete Hosey. Great to see him, and we've got some other guys here that are going to quickly join us. So we'll get them to come over. Guys from Australia, we've got to be fair here, apparently. You've got to interview a Kiwi and an Australian. So tell us who you are, bud.
Yeah, hi, I'm James Hinton.
Yeah, Marty Wild.
Okay, so you boys are obviously going not too bad out there?
Yeah, going all right. We've had 2 second places so far tonight, this afternoon. Yeah, we're kicking along okay today. A bit better than last night, so fingers crossed.
You'll be enjoying this track though, a bit of a difference from yesterday?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This track's a little bit more like our tracks back at home, a little bit bigger, a bit more flowing. Last night was very technical, challenging, so yeah, it caught us a bit off guard, but yeah, so far tonight we're going well.
You guys will be looking forward to having a bit of a break, mate, with all this racing and stuff like that. You'll be absolutely exhausted, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, mate, I've never done 2 back-to-back. We're all pretty spent yesterday afternoon. But yeah, it's a little bit better today. The track's a bit smoother, so it's not so much on the body. But yeah, definitely better today. So we'll see what the next couple of tracks are.
And you guys, of course, will just be taking it reasonably easy. Next week's the one, isn't it? Next Saturday is really where you want to be. You've got a midweeker in Beachlands on a clay track, very wide, you'll love that track, mate. She's big and bad.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to the big tracks. We like the big and the fast-flowing tracks, and definitely the speed doesn't worry us. We enjoy that, but yeah, the big emphasis is on the teams with the test series, and yeah, it was good to get a tie, but we're always going for the win, and to be so close yet, yeah, no cigar was a bit disappointing, but yeah, no, next Saturday, yeah, Team Aussie, we're going for the win. Yeah, we learned a bit last night off the Kiwis. They gave us a bit, so yeah, we need to pull our finger out and make sure we're giving it back.
But doesn't it make it so much better that you guys can actually, it's evens, so it really does come on. Like, if you guys are miles ahead, it wouldn't even be worth watching it, but it's just absolutely so close. These Kiwis have already brought it, but so have you guys as well.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody wants to see one team run away with it, and last night was a great example of it was close, you know, all the way through it, and someone to get ahead, someone to pull it in, you know. It's great to come down to right to the end, you know, for the riders, the spectators, and for the sport. It's what we want, but you only got to win by one, and hopefully that's Australia by one, so that's all that matters.
Oh, here we go, look at this. All right, good sponsors that have helped you get over here. Who looks after you?
Yeah, no, we've had a lot of help. Gosford Signs, probably one of my biggest sponsor, Unifielder, TRE. A lot of help from the Tamworth Motorcycle Club, which is my local club. I want to thank Marty. Marty's just jumped on this trip with me, late minute call up, and he's thrown his hand up. He couldn't be more excited and chuffed to have him on. So yeah, it's been good. But a big thank you's got to go out to everyone in New Zealand. You know, we've made us feel welcome from the minute we got here. Radley's Haulage for towing our bikes around. Oreti Park Speedway, Beachlands, like everybody. Everybody we come across has just been great and helpful, and it's good to get over here and support you guys, and hopefully you all come over, come our Aussie titles.
Mate, thank you very much for coming along. It's really fantastic to have you here. It's really exciting, good atmosphere, heaps of crowd. You wouldn't be used to that out Australia because nobody goes. I've watched on YouTube clips, no one goes to watch sidecars. What's going on there?
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have the spectators and the crowd numbers, which would be good. I think we need to get a bit more marketing in. It's good to see the Pitts Motorsport Speedway get the marketing out there and show it off, and hopefully, yeah, we can build the crowds and get some bums on seats, and yeah, everyone that comes out loves it. But yeah, it's great to see the crowds and the people. Great to see everybody clapping and waving too, even when the Australians go around. It's nice to feel welcomed, and yeah, we
are polite down here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's good. Yeah, it's very nice to see that, and everybody that's so helpful. It goes a long way.
Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your trip, but let's get through today. Best of luck for the rest of the racing.
Absolutely. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Scott Williamson, and welcome to X Factor Cars. Family owned and operated with 2 locations, Invercargill and Cromwell. Specialising in everything V8 from Holden Ford, HSV, FPV, and with Southland's biggest selection of American muscle, we've got most bases covered. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Get the X Factor.
The St Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff Kinner. Once caught, the Kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their green-boned fish or delicious power products and you will soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing Kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you. Welcome to Hamner Springs and to Hamner Holiday Homes. Situated just 90 minutes from Christchurch, call our team to arrange your next holiday with action aplenty. From those who like to relax through to the thrill seeker. Choose from over 200 holiday homes with taste that caters for all. Bring the kids or relax with your partner and admire the fantastic views on offer. Book now to secure your next adventure. www.hamnerholidayhomes.com.
So this time away they go once again. Looks like Corey Russell had a bit of trouble getting away from the line, so he goes to the infield as well. So it's just Hayden Brookland and Ryan Colvin fighting it out now. And it's Hayden Brookland that's taken the lead here from Ryan Colvin. Through turns 3 and 4 they come. Hayden Brookland with a handy 4 or 5 bike length lead over Ryan Colvin as they come through for the final lap. Our flagman Jeff Garnham shows the white flag. Still Hayden Brookland. Down through turns 3 and 4 he comes, sliding nicely and to the win. And the 25 of Ryan Colvin takes that second spot. Right, the 125 at junior solos. We should see the 86 of Finn Reid coming out of gate 1, the 11 of Tyler Bain Hoy coming out of gate 2, and the 53 of Jacob Voorkamp coming out of gate 3. This one sponsored by E. Hayes and Sons Limited. So Finn Reid down there, gate 1. In beside him, Tyler Bain Hoy on that 11 bike. And the 53 of Jacob Voorkamp on the outside here in gate 3. The tapes go. That's the 11. The 86, sorry, of Finn Reid, who's taken the lead here over the 11 of Tyler Bain Hoy and the 53 of Jacob Voorkamp. Jacob Voorkamp looks to try and get round the outside of Tyler Bain Hoy as they come through turns 3 and 4. It's Finn Reid though. Oh! Jacob Voorkamp just clipping the back of Tyler Bain Hoy there as they came back into turn 1. Tipped himself up. I hope he's okay. Young Jacob. Got Mason Coulthard there along with Cormac Buchanan and Dakota Kringle. Cormac Buchanan and Dakota Kringle out of the gate like a rocket, but once again Cormac Buchanan, he hits the lead there on that 14 bike. The 55 of Dakota Kringle sitting there in that second spot, and the 44 of Mason Coulthard sitting there in that third position. So through they come, turns 3 and 4. It's Cormac Buchanan leading the way from Dakota Kringle in that second spot, and third place there is Mason Coulthard. The white flag comes out, they've got one left to go. Still Cormac Buchanan from Dakota Kringle in that second place, and Mason Coulthard on that 44 bike in that third place. Another good win here to Cormac Buchanan from second place on that 55 bike of Dakota Kringle. And third place there going to the 44 of Mason Coulthard. The executive car service sponsored heat of the A-grade solos. We'll see the 11 of Jake Gillespie out of gate 1. The 4i of Adam Shuttleworth will come out of gate 2. And the 16i of Daniel Shuttleworth will come out of gate 3. This one sponsored by Executive Car Service. So gate 1, Jake Gillespie. Gate 2, Adam Shuttleworth. Gate 3, Daniel Shuttleworth. Gates up. Away they go. Who's the first one down of that turn? It looks like Daniel Shuttleworth this time over Jake Gillespie, who's sitting there in that second place, and Adam Shuttleworth back there in that third position. Down through that Rogers Yamaha turn they go. Daniel Shuttleworth up nice and wide on the track. Jake Gillespie sitting down low as they came down through turns 1 and 2 once again. Still Daniel Shuttleworth leading the way from Jake Gillespie in that second spot, and Adam Shuttleworth filling that third position as they come down through the start finish straight once again. Oh, Daniel Shuttleworth gets a little bit out of shape, doesn't lose too much ground. Jake Gillespie closes up again on him though as they go down through that McLeod diesel turn. It's still Daniel Shuttleworth narrowly from Jake Gillespie sitting there in that second place, and third place is that Adam Shuttleworth. Jake Gillespie, he makes a little mistake and loses a bit of ground, and Adam Shuttleworth closes up on him. So Daniel Shuttleworth out of that Rogers Yamaha turn he comes, and he will take the win, take it comfortably from Jake Gillespie in second place, and third place there going to Adam Shuttleworth. Right, B-grade solos, the 29 of Phil Coulthard in gate 1. The 15 of Devlin Joseph, gate 2. Jimmy Hannon out here in gate 5, Zane Pay gate 4, and Pat Dysart out here in gate 6. This one sponsored by Fly and Spider Control. All happy. Takes go the way to go. Zane Pay gets out fairly smartly. Then we've got Phil Coulthard, is it? In that, no, it's not. That's Devlin Joseph, sorry, in that second spot. Finding it difficult to see here at times. Third place is Jimmy Hannon, fourth place is Phil Coulthard, and fifth place is Pat Dysart. So Zane Pay leading the way from Devlin Joseph in that second spot. Third place is Jimmy Hannon, fourth place is Phil Coulthard, and fifth place is Pat Dysart. Still Zane Pay as he goes down through that Permacoat roofing turn on that 9 bike. The 46 of Jimmy Hannon still in that second spot. Third place Jimmy Hannon. Bit of a takeover bid going on here. Jimmy Hannon moves back to third again. So Zane Pay takes the win from Devlin Joseph there in that second place. Now there's a battle on for third and fourth here. Looks like Jimmy Hannon just by a nose from Phil Coulthard. And fifth place there going to Pat Dysart. The Solo Classics Heat 2, we've got the 71 of Derek McRae in gate 1, and beside him Les Payne on the 91 bike, and beside him the 69 of Joe Hughes takes up and away they go. Looks like Les Payne, first one down to the turn. Joe Hughes goes round the outside. Then we've got Derek McRae and Les Payne fighting out 2 and 3 here as they go down into that McLeod diesel turn. It's still Joe Hughes leading the way from Derek McRae and Les Payne. Joe Hughes gives a thumbs up as he comes down. He goes out wide and lets everybody slide on it. Oh, Derek McRae goes down, so Les Payne takes the lead. Oh, sorry, that was Les Payne that went down, and Derek McRae takes the lead, shall I say. And Joe Hughes still there in that second spot on that 69 bike. So through they come. Derek McRae leading the way from the 69 of Joe Hughes. And the 91 of Les Payne sitting in that third position. So Derek McRae going to take the win and take it reasonably comfortably here from Joe Hughes on the 69 bike in that second spot. And third place will go to Les Payne. That heat sponsored by Fly and Spider Control. And the 71 of Derek McRae, the victor there, over the 69 of Joe Hughes and the 91 of Les Payne. So coming up they are, lining up in gate 3, Scott Odo, Dylan Carney. In gate 4, Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin. Out here in gate 5, Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell from New South Wales in Australia. This time they're all happy. Tapes go and away they go. Who gets the best of it? Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin got out fairly smartly, but Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell were just that little bit quicker. They're the first ones down that extreme karts back straight. Scott Odo, Dylan Carney slide up into second place. Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin are sitting there in that third position. So Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell from New South Wales. Down into that Rogers Yamaha turn they go. Scott Odo, Dylan Carney still sitting there in that second spot. Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin just doing it a wee bit wrong down there in turn 2, and they're still sitting there in that third position. Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell, they're leading the way from Scott Odo and Dylan Carney, who are sitting there in second spot. Third place is Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin. So down that Scarecrow gardening back straight is Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell. Through they come. 1 lap left to run here. They've got a comfortable lead now over Scott Odo, Dylan Carney, and Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin are just that little bit further back there in that third position. Down through that GoPro turn, Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell. Gonna get the checkered flag. Jeff Garnham doing a fantastic job here. Second place going to the 19 of Scott Odo and Dylan Carney. And third place going to the 95 eye of Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin. Well, fantastic stuff. Put your hands together. Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell out of gate 5. Managed to gap them as they got round through that Permacoat roofing turn. And were never headed. That one incidentally sponsored by the Pits TV. Heat 12 of the Sidecar Race 28. We've got the 16i of Jason Harper and Mark George. The 7 of Mark Radford and Blake Halls from Victoria. It'd be coming out of gate 3. Jason Harper, Mark George coming out of gate 1. The 3 bike of Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox will be coming out of gate 4. That's the Queensland combination. And gate 5 goes to James Douglas and Harley Biddle on that 44 bike. This one sponsored by Black Chrome Sportswear. Jason Harper, Mark George sitting there waiting. And beside them, Mark Radford and Blake Halls. Then the 3 of Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox, and the 44 of James Douglas and Harley Biddle. happy. Tapes going away, they go. From the centre, looked like Hamish Golding. Liam Cox got away fairly smartly. And the green helmet there is James Douglas, Harley Biddle. They've gone up into second place. Then we've got Mark Radford and Blake Halls. And then we go back to Jason Harper and Mark George. Through they come for the first time. It is Hamish Golding and Liam Cox over the James Douglas and Harley Biddle in second place. Third place is Mark Radford, Blake Halls, and fourth place is Jason Harper and Mark George. There's no change as they come back down through here and go through turns 1 and 2 once again. It is still Hamish Goulding, Liam Cox leading the way from James Douglas and Harley Biddle. Third place is still Hamish Goulding, Mark Radford and Blake Halls. Then Jason Harper, Mark George. There's 1 lap left to go. Hamish Goulding, Liam Cox, James Douglas, Harley Biddle, Mark Radford and Blake Halls still in that third place, and Jason Harper, Mark George still in that fourth position. So a good win here to Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox. Second place going to James Douglas and Harley Biddle. Third place going to Mark Radford and Blake Halls. And fourth place there to Jason Harper and Mark George. So this next heat race 29 in the program, heat 13 of the sidecars. This one sponsored by GVI Logistics. We'll see the 78 of Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson in gate 1. Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield on that 6 bike will be in gate 2. Gate 3 is Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers on that 29i bike. Gate 4 is the 4 of Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden from New South Wales. And the 58 of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss are in gate 5. So apparently in that last heat, 7 was excluded for contact. So that will put Jason Harper, Mark George up into third spot. So all lined up here, Paul Humphrey, Patrick Larson on that 78 bike down in gate 1. They're all happy. Tapes go, away they go. Who's going to get the best one? Paul Humphreys, Patrick Larson out of that gate 1 of the first ones into the turn. In the blue helmet coming around the outside is Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield. Luke Twaits, Neville Chalmers though, they've gone up into second. So that puts Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield back in third spot. Through they come. Luke, Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss back there in that fourth position. And fifth place is Paul Humphreys and Patrick Larson. So round they come. In that blue helmet is Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield. Second place, there's a battle on there between the 4 bike of Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden and Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers. Oh, a bit of a coming together there as they head down that extreme karts back straight once again. Luke Twaits, Neville Chalmers, it's all on here. But out in front still, it's Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield. Second place, the 29 bike of Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers, just I think it is, from Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden. No, Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden have claimed back second place. Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers have gone back to third. And then we've got Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss in that fourth place. Well, what a ride there. Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield take the win from Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden in second spot. Third place went to Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers. And fourth place going to Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. Right. Nigel Cookow is now passengering for Claire Hartnell. So they'll be in gate 1 on that 85 bike. In beside them will be Stan Ross and Chris Leedon on the 84 bike. Then the 43 bike of Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey coming out of gate 4. And then gate 5 is the 39 of Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox. Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers, the 29 bike, was excluded from that last heat for contact. So that would put Aidan up into 3rd place. Aidan Thwaites and Shane Twist, that is. So this one here is sponsored by Automotive and Industrial Paints Limited. All lined up, tapes up and away they go. Oh, Stan Ross, Chris Leedon made a bit of a duff it, so did Claire Hartnell and Chris Chatfield, Nigel Cookhouse, sorry. So it's Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox that are going to lead the way from Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey. Stan Ross and Chris Leedon get underway. I don't know if that's entirely legal, but they've done it. Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox are still leading from Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey. Looks like Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey have struck a problem. They've slowed considerably. So Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox from Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey in that 2nd place. Through they come. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon are running 3rd at the moment. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox with less than half a lap to run now. Head back down into that GoPro turn. Take a very, very comfortable win over Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey. 2nd place going to the 43 of Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox. First place. 2nd place, Craig McMaster, Johnny Casey. 3rd place, Stan Ross and Chris Leedon. That one, as I say, sponsored by Automotive and Industrial Paints. Right, folks, the race 31 in the program. Heat 15 of the sidecars. We will see Lance Tulloch and Tim Green in gate 1 with the red helmet. In gate 3, the 24 of Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat with the white helmet. James Hinton and Marty Wild on that 5 biker in gate 4 with the yellow helmet. And in gate 5, Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone in the green helmet cover coming out of gate 5. This one, as I say, sponsored by Tayesta Motel. All set. Tapes up and away they go. From the outside, Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone got a flyer. So did Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat. Then we've got James Hinton and Marty Wilder in there in 2nd place. I think it's Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat in that 3rd position. And 4th place is the Lance Tulloch and Tim Green. So Trent Headland, Daz Whetstone once again down through that South Coast Customs turn in the lead from James Hinton and Marty Wild. 3rd place is Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat on that 24 bike. And 4th place there, Lance Tulloch and Tim Green from Queensland. Down the extreme carts, back straight they go once again. Still Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone that are leading the way from James Hinton and Marty Wild. No, it's not. It's Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat that have gone through into 2nd place. 3rd place is James Hinton and Marty Wild. And 4th place, Lance Tulloch and Tim Green. Well, Trent Headland, Daz Whetstone, they've got a handy lead here. Second place, Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat. Third place goes to James Hinton and Marty Wild. And fourth place going to Lance Tulloch and Tim Green. Well, second and third, they changed places a couple of times throughout the race. But make no bones about Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone. They were well and truly flying there. They tell me Lance Tulloch and Tim Green were excluded for a pole line infringement in that heat. So our referee's doing a stupendous job here today with all sorts of exclusions. Tapes going, away they go. Eli Bartley got out fairly smartly. But once again, Braxton Casey on that 29 bike scoots to the front. So Eli Bartley, that 5 bike, he's in second place. Third place is the 41 bike of Ryland Casey. Then we go to the 66 of Caden Cracknell and the 88 of Taylor Wells Moore. So once again, Braxton Casey on that 29 bike, sliding through there. The 41 of Ryland Casey as he got up into second place. To Eli Bartley gone back to third. Then the 66 of Caden Cracknell. And then the 88 of Taylor Wells Moore. Well, Braxton Casey once again comes through, takes the checkered flag from the 41 of Ryland Casey and the 5 of Eli Bartley in that third place, the 66 of Caden Cracknell in fourth place, and the 88 of Taylor Wells Moore takes out that fifth spot. So that's Peewee Division 1. Peewee Division 2 will see the 9 of Slade Fordyce, the 7 of Alexia Askew, and the 44 of Sam Coulthard. So the 9, Slade Fordyce down in gate 1, Alexia Askew gate 2, Sam Coulthard gate 3 or 4. Out they come. And it's the 9 of Slade Fordyce, but Sam Coulthard catches up on him fairly smartly and gets round the outside. It looks like Slade Fordyce starting to push him wide, using a bit of the big boy tactics as they come through turns 1 and 2. Still Slade Fordyce just narrowly from Sam Coulthard. Sam Coulthard now just gets his nose in front of Slade Fordyce, and Alexia Askew is still there in that third spot. So Sam Coulthard leading now from Slade Fordyce in that second spot. Alexia Askew still there in that third place. So the 44, of Sam Coulthard will take the checkered flag. The 9 of Slade Fordyce will take that second place, and third place will go to Alexia Askew on that 7 bike. That one incidentally sponsored by GoPro Invercargill. This next heat of the junior solos, the 200s, sponsored by McLeod Diesel Limited. We should see, this is heat 3 for these guys, race 34 in the program. This is 10I, Corey Russell in gate 1. The 28 of Hayden Brookland will be in gate 2. The 25 of Ryan Colvin in gate 3. And the 21I of Lucas Colvin in gate 4. So tapes up and away they go. Hayden Brooklyn got out fairly smartly, but the 2 Colvin boys were, Tyler Bain Hoy takes another tumble. The red flags will come out. Just clipped the back of another bike there. the two Colvin boys, Ryan and Lucas, they were going for it. They were determined to hunt Hayden Brooklyn down. And young Tyler got caught up in the fray. He's up on his feet and walking about, which is a good sign. Good to see. So, take two of the McLeod Diesel Limited sponsored heat of the junior solos to the 200s. I'll line back up again. Hayden Brooklyn. Oh, sorry, that was Corey Russell, the 10 bike. Tape's going away. They go the 21 of Lucas Colvin. He read that pretty smart. He got out like a rocket, but Hayden Brooklyn's right there with him. Hayden Brooklyn just narrowly in front of Lucas Colvin. Then we go back to the 25 of Ryan Colvin. So round they come. It's Hayden Brooklyn just narrowly over the 21 of Lucas Colvin and the 25 of Ryan Colvin. One lap left to go, still Hayden Brooklyn. Lucas Colvin right there with him though. And the 21 of Ryan Colvin there in that third spot. So through they come. Hayden Brooklyn takes the win from the 21 of Lucas Colvin and the 25 of Ryan Colvin. Sorry about the confusion there with Tyler Bain-Hoy and Corey Russell. It was young Corey Russell that took the tumble there. Right, race 35 in the program. Junior solos, the 125. This time we see Tyler Bain-Hoy on the 11 bike, the 44 of Mason Coulthard, and the 86 of Finn Reid. This one here sponsored by Newfield Autos, out there in Tweed Street. This is heat 5 for these wee fellas. The 11i, Tyler Bain-Hoy, gate 1, Mason Coulthard in the middle there. He gets a good start from the 86 of Finn Reid. Tyler Bain-Hoy tries to slide underneath Mason Coulthard as they come, underneath Tyler Bain-Hoy as they come round. So it's still Mason Coulthard leading the way from Mason Coulthard and Finn Reid. So, sorry, Finn Reid in that second spot, Mason Coulthard in that third spot. So Mason Coulthard and Finn Reid 1 and 2. Tyler Bain-Hoy in that third spot. Mason Coulthard coming through here with for the checkered flag. He'll take the win. Second place going to Finn Reid, and third place there to Tyler Bain-Hoy. Junior solos, the 125s. Heat 6, we'll see the 14 of Cormac Buchanan, the 53 of Jacob Vorkamp. I hope he's okay. I hope he is going to come out. Nobody's told me otherwise, so he is there. Good to see. And the 14 of Cormac Buchanan, the 55, sorry, of Dakota Kringle. The 14 of Cormac Buchanan down on gate 1. The 53 of Jacob Vorkamp in there in gate 2, and the 55 of Dakota Kringle, gate 3. So away they go. Dakota Kringle and Cormac Buchanan are fighting it out for 1 and 2, but once again, Cormac Buchanan gets his nose in front. Oh, Dakota Kringle takes a bit of a dive. He stays on the horse though, and through they come. Still Cormac Buchanan leading the way from Dakota Kringle and Jacob Vorkamp. So Cormac Buchanan slides through turns 1 and 2. Once again, Dakota Kringle still there in that second place. Jacob Vorkamp still there in that third spot. So, Cormac Buchanan and Dakota Kringle. Dakota Kringle closed it up a little bit. He's less than a bike length away. Through they come, but it's Cormac Buchanan that's going to take the win from Dakota Kringle in second place and Jacob Vorkamp in that third position. We'll see Daniel Shuttleworth on the 16 bike. He'll be in gate 1. The 11 of Jake Gillespie will be in gate 2. and the 4 of Adam Shuttleworth will be in gate 3. Righto, makes up the underway for the Overblast sponsored heat of the A-grade solos. Looks like Jake Gillespie got away fairly smartly that time. He's leading the field. Looks like it's Adam Shuttleworth once again that's gone into that second place, and Daniel Shuttleworth in that third position. So Jake Gillespie down through this start-finish straight. He comes with Adam Shuttleworth there in second and Daniel Shuttleworth there in that third spot. Back down through that McLeod diesel turn they go. Still Jake Gillespie leading the way from Adam Shuttleworth on that 4 bike in that second spot in the 15 of Adam Shuttleworth. Sorry, the 16 of Daniel Shuttleworth in that third position. Jake Gillespie open it up a little bit here now over the 4 of Adam Shuttleworth and the 16 of Daniel Shuttleworth. Down through turns 1 and 2 they go once again. There's been no change as they go down past that Extreme Karts sign on the back straight. To come out of that Rogers Yamaha turn, it's Jake Gillespie who'll take the win from Adam Shuttleworth on that 4 bike, and third place going to the 16 of Daniel Shuttleworth. So the 11, Jake Gillespie, victorious there. B-grade solos, heat 3. This one sponsored by Permacoat Roofing Southland Limited. We'll see the 9 of Zane Pay in gate 1. The 48 of Pat Dysart is in gate 3. The 15 of Devlin Joseph is in gate 4. The 29 of Phil Coulthard is gate 5, and Jimmy Hannon on the 46 is gate 6. Makes up are underway. So, looks like Zane Pay and Devlin Joseph 1 and 2 at the moment. Devlin Joseph gets up alongside Zane Pay. Pat Dysart sitting there in that third spot. Jimmy Hannon in 4th. Phil Coulthard in that 5th position. There's not much between 1 and 2 here as they come down through here. Zane Pay and Devlin Joseph. Zane Pay just about a bike length or so in front of Devlin Joseph as they go past that Extreme Karts sign on the back straight once again. Down through that Rogers Yamaha turn they come. It's still Zane Pay leading the way narrowly from Devlin Joseph. Pat Dysart still there in that third spot. Jimmy Hannon still there in that 4th place. And Phil Coulthard in that 5th position. So still narrowly Zane Pay from Devlin Joseph. There's not much between 1 and 2 here. Pat Dysart still in that 3rd spot on that 48 bike. Oh, Jimmy Hannon goes down. So that will let Phil Coulthard up into that 4th position. Pat Dysart still there in 3rd. They're having a great battle out in front here. Zane Pay and Devlin Joseph. Zane Pay by about a bike length from Devlin Joseph, who ended up in 2nd spot. 3rd place going to Pat Dysart. 4th place would go to Phil Coulthard. That the Permacoat Roofing Southland Limited sponsored heat. This next heat of the Classic Solos, heat 3 for these guys, is the Alford Contracting sponsored heat. This is race 39 in the program if you've lost your way somewhere. And we'll see the 71 of Derek McRae come out in gate 1. The 69 of Joe Hughes come out in gate 2. And the 91 of Les Payne will be in gate 3. And this one sponsored, as I say, by Alford Contracting. Derek McRae, gate 1. Joe Hughes in beside him on that 69 bike, and then the 91 of Les Payne takes up and along the way. Joe Hughes once again, he gets away to a flyer of a start. He's the first one down to the turn. He gets a wee bit out of shape. Derek McRae and Les Payne watch what's happening in front of them. They take a wee bit of evasive action. They all stay on. Through they come. It's Derek McRae takes over once again. Les Payne goes up into second place, and third place is Joe Hughes on that 69 bike. So through that C Brown Builders turn they go. Derek McRae leading the way from Les Payne and Joe Hughes. Through they come. Still Derek McRae with 1 lap left to go. Les Payne has closed up quite considerably on him. Joe Hughes is back there a little bit in that third spot. So still Derek McRae narrowly from Les Payne as they come down through this Permacoat roofing turn. Les Payne goes slow. Derek McRae goes wide and gets close to the fence. So Les Payne will take the win, sliding underneath Derek McRae as they came through that Rogers Yamaha turn. So a win there to Les Payne over Derek McRae in second place, and third place there going to Joe Hughes. We'll see in gate 1, Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden. In gate 2, Scott Ado, Dylan Carney on that 19 bike. We'll see the 39 of Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox in gate 4, and the 16 of Jason Harper and Mark George will be in gate 5. This one here, sponsored by Ato's Dairy out there in Riverton. Going for your Sunday drive, be sure to call in and see Chris and the girls there. Get yourself a ice cream, milkshakes, they've got all the goodies there, lovely hot food, etc. So already here, Jeff Garnham looking happy, gate to be closed. Dates up, they're underway. Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox, they got away pretty smartly, so did Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden, but it's Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox that come out in front. Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden go side by side as they head down through that C Brown Builders turn. It's still Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox narrowly in front from Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden. Third place is Scott Odo and Dylan Carney, and fourth place Jason Harper, Mark George. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, they've got a bit of pressure on Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden. They're right in there amongst it as they come back out through that C Brown Builders turn. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, they go down low once again. There's a little bit of a bump and a shunt here. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, down that extreme carts, back straight they go. Back down through the South Coast Customs turn. Oh, Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden, turn it right round. Oh, Scott Odo, Dylan Carney tried to avoid it, they couldn't. Bit of a come together, but everybody's on their feet. That could have turned nasty, but hey, mate, that was well done. Well done. Brad Pitt, Nathan McFadden turning it round. The other boys taking as much evasive action as they could. That could have turned pretty pear-shaped, but hey, good to see that everybody's all up and standing. That's awesome. So just a wee bit of maintenance to do here. Looks like Scott Odo, Dylan Carney still okay after that wee touch with Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden. Jason Harper, Mark George, they avoided the fray as well. That's a bit of a shame for Brad Pitt and Nathan McFadden, because there was a great battle between him and Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox. They were fighting for position there. And Nathan Brad just turning it round just in front of that South Coast Customs sign turn. So it won't be too long, folks. We'll be underway with take 2 of the 80 Dairies sponsored heat of the sidecars.
I heard a few
After the devastating Christchurch earthquakes, there's always been one name you can rely on when it comes to scaffolding in Canterbury. Elliott Scaffolding have a purpose-built fleet of vehicles and a fully trained crew that can get the job done. From that small project to the bigger ones, and some of the unique ones. Phone now and speak to Trevor and the team at Elliott Scaffolding Christchurch.
Heat 16 of the sidecars here at the Seabright Autos Oreti Park Speedway. Tape's going away, they go once again. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, they read it perfectly. They shoot out that gate. Scott Ado, Dylan Carney just narrowly in second spot from Jason Harper and Mark George as they slide down through that C Brown Builders turn and come out of that Food at Clifton turn. It's Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox on that 39 bike that lead the way from Scott Ado, Dylan Carney in that second place. Third place is Jason Harper and Mark George. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox now got a fairly comfortable lead. We'll watch the battle on here for second and third between Scott Ado, Dylan Carney and Jason Harper and Mark George as they come out of that Permacoat roofing turn. It's Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox as they head back down through into that South Coast Customs turn. Second place still Scott Ado, Dylan Carney. Jason Harper, Mark George just in that third position. 1 lap left to run. Still Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox. Down that Sono Sound Systems back straight they go. For the final time through that Newfield Autos turn, Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, he has a bit of a glance over the shoulder just to see where the opposition is. He takes it and takes it comfortably from Scott Ado and Dylan Carney on that 19 bike in second spot, and third place going to Jason Harper and Mark George on the 16 bike. Race 41 in the program, Heat 17 for the sidecars. This one sponsored by Thwaites Logging Contractors. We will see the 29 of Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers in gate 2. And the 1 of Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone from South Australia in gate 4. Just the 2 of them here. Unfortunately, Fraser Gillespie and Nigel Cookow out, and Craig McMaster and Johnny Casey also out. So just the 2 of them here contesting Heat 17, the Thwaites Logging Contracting sponsored heat. Luke Thwaites, Neville Chalmers, Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone. Everyone happy? Trent Headland, Daz Whetstone, they got a flyer out of that outside gate. Luke Thwaites, Neville Chalmers are sitting there in that second spot as they head down through that South Coast Customs turn. Trent Headland, Daz Whetstone are in the middle of the track. Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers are down there in that second place. Down that extreme carts back straight they go for the second time. Trent Headland, Daz Whetstone, he sits up high on the track. Luke Thwaites, Neville Chalmers trying to narrow it up a little bit. They keep it down low as they go down through that Rogers Yamaha turn. Look at where these guys poke this bike. It seems to be like it's on rails. They can put it where they want to. Trent Headland, Daz Whetstone, Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers. 1 lap left to go. There's no change here. as they head back down that extreme karts back straight. Through that GoPro turn they come. Trent Headland, Daz Whetstone. They take a comfortable win here from Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers. Great stuff. Put your hands together, folks. This is Australia's #1 current champion. Strutting his stuff here at the Seawright Autos Oreti Park Speedway. Right, next heat of the sidecars. This is heat 18. This one's sponsored by Equine and Pet Laundry Service. Race 42 in the program. We'll see in gate 1 Hamish Golding and Liam Cox from Queensland. Gate 2 Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield from New South Wales. James Douglas, Harley Biddle in gate 4 on that 44 bike, and the 78 of Paul Humphreys and Patrick Larson in gate 5. So just the 4 of them here. Gate 3 empty. The 3 of Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox going into gate 1. Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield. Gate 2, James Douglas, Harley Biddle set. Paul Humphreys, Patrick Larson set as well. Tapes up, away they go. Who gets the best of it? Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield looked like they were sitting in there, but Hamish Golding and Liam Cox are the ones that come out in front. In second place, Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield. Third place looks like James Douglas, Harley Biddle, and then we go back to Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson. So no change as they head back down through that Permacoat roofing turn. It's Hamish Golding and Liam Cox in that first position. Second place, Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield. Third place, James Douglas, Harley Biddle. Fourth place is Paul Humphreys and Patrick Larson. James Douglas, Harley Biddle, they've got the bit between their teeth. They want to get in front of Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield as they try and get down that back straight. But out in front, still Hamish Golding and Liam Cox, still Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield. Third place is still James Douglas and Harley Biddle, and Paul Humphreys and Patrick Larson round them out. Down out of that McLeod diesel turn they come. James Douglas, Harley Biddle. It's a bit of a drag. They're looking for that second spot. They've only got one turn left to do it in, but it's Hamish Golding and Liam Cox that are going to take the win. Second place is going to go to Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield. Third place goes to James Douglas and Harley Biddle. And fourth place will go to Paul Humphrey and Patrick Larson. So a good win there to the number 3 bike, Hamish Golding and Liam Cox. Second place to the 6 of Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield. Third place going to the 44 of James Douglas and Harley Biddle. And fourth place going to Paul Humphreys and Patrick Larson. So, lining up here for race 43 of the sidecars, heat 19. James Hinton and Marty Wild in gate 1 from New South Wales on that 5 bike. The 24 of Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat, they are in gate 2. Gate 4 is Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell on the 2 bike. And the 85 of Claire Hartnell and Nigel Cookow are out here in gate 5. This one sponsored by Jason Harper Contracting. Tapes up, they're underway. Who gets the best? But looks like Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat got away pretty smartly. Sitting there in that second spot is Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell. They've just overhauled Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat. Then we've got James Hinton and Marty Wild sitting there in that third position. So down through they come. It is Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell from New South Wales that are in that first position. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat still hanging on to that second place. James Hinton, Marty Wild, oh, they get it all wrong and just about turn it round. They get underway again. That put Claire Hartnell and Nigel Cookhow out of shape as well. But out in front, it's still Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell, as they head down that Sono Sound Systems back straight. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat still sitting there in that second spot. James Hinton and Marty Wild still there in third. And Claire Hartnell and Nigel Cookhow back there in that fourth position. So Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell down through that GoPro turn for the final time from Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat in that second spot. Then James Hinton and Marty Wild sitting there in third. So a good win there. Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell holding off a bit of a challenge from Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat, who ended up in second place on that 24 bike. Third place went to the 5 bike of James Hinton and Marty Wild, and fourth place going to Claire Hartnell and Nigel Cookhow on the 85 bike. So the 2 bike, Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell, they come out the victors. Right, the Extreme Karts Showdown Across the Ditch Tour. Heat 20, we will see the 95 of Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin in Gate 1. In Gate 2, the 7 bike, Mark Radford and Blake Halls. The 84 of Stan Ross and Chris Leedon will be in Gate 3. The 58 of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss will be in Gate 4. And Lance Tullock and Tim Green on the 8 bike are in Gate 5. Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin set down there, and beside there Mark Radford, Blake Halls, Stan Ross, Chris Leedon, Aidan Twaits, Shane Twiss, Lance Tullock, Tim Green. Oh! Lance Tullock, Tim Green just about overstepped the mark there, but it's Stan Ross and Chris Leedon who are first ones down into the turn. Then it's Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin in that second spot. Oh, there's some, oh man, there's a bit of a drag on here. What's happening? Oh, Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin get it all wrong and go infield. As they come through, it's, oh, red flag. I thought there's a bit of a slow up there. So, it looked like Lance Tullock and Tim Green almost jumped the start. So I presume that's what the red flag was for. So Lance Tullock and Tim Green will go back to the 30-metre mark for jumping that start. They were very, very lucky not to pull the tapes to bits as they shot underneath them as they were rising up, but they did move before the tapes went. So they go back to the 30-metre mark. They'll line them back up again here for the Extreme Karts sponsored heat of the Extreme Karts East Coast Sidecar Roundup Showdown Across the Ditch. Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin will come out of Gate 1. Mark Radford and Blake Halls on that 7 bike will come out of Gate 2. The 84 of Stan Ross and Chris Leedon will come out of Gate 3. And Gate 4 is the 58 of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. And back at the 30-metre mark there is Lance Tullock and Tim Green. This time, tapes going away they go. Once again, Stan Ross gets out fairly smartly, but so did Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin. And they'll pave their nose in front as they head down that extreme karts back straight for the first time. Then we've got Mark Radford and Blake Halls, I think it is, sitting in that second spot. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon in that fourth spot. The 58 of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss have just taken that third place. But out in front, Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin, they're leading the way. From in second place, I think is the Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss with the yellow helmet cover on. Then the blue cover of Mark Radford and Blake Halls. In that third position, Stan Ross and Chris Leedon in that fourth place. Through they come. Still the 95 of Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin. Sitting there in second place is Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. Third place is Mark Radford and Blake Halls. Through they come. Erwin Tree, Brett Pubbin take the win from Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. Third place goes to Mark Radford and Blake Halls. Fourth place going to Stan Ross and Chris Leedon. And fifth place going to Lance Tulloch and Tim Green. Fast and furious stuff, and as they get over on that back straight, even with those helmet colours on, I'm having a bit of difficulty distinguishing them, but there was no doubt about the winner, the 95 of Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin. In first place, holding out the 58 of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss in that second spot, and third place going to Mark Radford and Blake Halls on that 7 bike.
Okay, folks, welcome back to Oreti Park Speedway for this East Coast Roundup. We've got a chance now to catch up with the swinger, one half of the 44i bike, which of course is JD. This is Harley Biddle. Harley, mate, the bike. Well, it doesn't seem to be that you're on the pace today, maybe a little bit off against these Australians.
Yeah, mate, definitely. They're very, very fast boys, but yeah, just our bike setup today is letting us down a wee bit, and mine and JD's, but off the old game today. But hey, look, only trying to do the best that we can, really, and try and get better, I suppose.
Well, that's all it's about, really, isn't it? I mean, you've got to try and do the best you can. You've got the best here, which is even better. So it really does gauge where you're at, really, in the scheme of things, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, mate. Like having Trent Headland and a few of the other boys over, one Aussie #1, he's unreal, and just being able to try and keep up with him, mate. He's definitely on his game, and yeah, learning a few things definitely from just watching him.
You can definitely see these boys are used to tracks like this. They struggled a wee bit at Moore Park, 83 yesterday after yesterday. Must be a bit of a concern in the New Zealand camp about what they're going to do to you next weekend.
Yeah, well, we'll soon find out. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can try and take it out this time, and hopefully, or either end up with another draw, but I don't see that happening, but we'll try for the best, eh? Yeah,
exactly. Good couple of big sponsors on the side of the bike. Who looks after you?
Yeah, we're definitely, we've got Perium Hedge Cutting, it's one of our #1s. Royal Bush Transport, we've got Southern Brake and Driveline, and we've got #1, another big one was our frame builder. He's over in Aussie at the moment, living over in Aussie, building our frames, and that's South Coast Customs. Creation Signs, Dyno Tech helps us out with tuning and whatnot, and we've got a couple others, but I've kind of forgot them.
We know, we've got you covered with the bike, we'll film it later on. But anyway, hey, well done on today, bit to work on, midweek meeting on Wednesday, you doing that?
Yeah, mate, hopefully go out for and have a nudge on the old clay. First time me and JD have rid clay together, so soon find out.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks very much for your time, Harley, and we'll let you move on, and have a good one. Yeah, mate, good as gold. And well, here he is, #1 Australia, the swinger, of course. It's Trent's man, Daz. Mate, fantastic guys to come over here. Looks like you might have the hang of this track out there, eh?
Yeah, it's a great track to come over here and ride, and we feel very privileged to be invited over here. And yeah, it's a great facility you guys have got here, and yeah, it'd be great to continue to race on it. You
were talking to some other guys earlier on, Australians, not used to a big crowd like this either.
No, it's good to see a lot of people around here, and that, and it's great for the sport. It's great for everyone all around. So.
Yep. So how are you adjusting to the whole? Moore Park was a bit of a struggle for you guys yesterday, but obviously more used to tracks like this.
Yeah, we're we love riding the big open tracks. Faster the better, and we just love it. Just as quick as you can go, the more fun it is.
Absolutely. And so obviously big midweek meeting. You guys will just be sort of taking it easy, I'd imagine, ready for the big showdown next weekend.
Yeah, that's it. We've done a fair bit of travelling as well, so I think we're a little bit fatigued in that sense, but dial in our bikes in today and get ready for the one in the next coming weeks. It'll be a wicked meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey mate, well hey, thanks very much for having a chance to chat to us, and best of luck for the rest of the trip for you. I'm sure we're going to catch up with you quite a bit, eh?
Yeah, no dramas. Look forward to it. Cheers.
Alrighty, so Bradley Sharp's going to be our next guy we're going to have a yarn to, and of course Bradley's no stranger to Oreti Park Speedway, the 24i. Bradley, mate, you're sort of not there today though. There's a couple of things not going your way.
Oh, we're trying hard, mate. We're trying hard. These boys are pretty quick, eh? Looking for a little bit of setup, but the track's going off. So, yeah. What more can I say? We're trying.
Oh, you're doing a good job out there. I mean, you got the best in the world here, best in Australia. So, I mean, it really does see that you are there or thereabouts. It's just a matter of trying to find that little bit of extra, isn't it?
Yeah. No, we're it's good to even keep within a couple of lengths of them. You know, it sort of gives you an idea where we're at, but. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to go look for something good and hope we can pull it out. We don't actually know if we're in yet, so we'll just wait and see, and fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah, the bike itself handling okay?
Yeah, man, it's going like a dream. A wee bit sluggish out of the gate, but it's the guy on the bars that's doing that, so we'll sort her out.
Open up, you reckon, a bit more? Open up the throttles a bit more?
Oh, no, it's too much. I think that's what I'm doing, eh? Just over-revving her, but should be right. We'll get there.
Absolutely. Hey, good sponsors too. Just a couple of quick ones.
Yeah, mate. L&W Landscaping, Newfield Autos, refrigeration supplies, Windsor Doors, Barry Sharp, and C Brown Builders. That's the one. Thanks to all of them.
Okay, thanks, mate. Have a good rest of the day. See if you got through.
Good on you. Cheers, Jace.
So that was the 29, Braxton Casey, taking another win there from the 66 of Caden Cracknell, then the 41 of Ryland Casey. The 5 of Eli Bartley, and the 88 of Taylor Wells Moore. Right, this next heat sponsored by Oreti Park Rest Home. The 44 of Sam Coulthard, the 9 of Slade Fordyce, and the 7 of Alexia Askew. It's the 9 of Slade Fordyce that makes his way to the front here from Sam Coulthard on that 44 bike, and Alexia Askew on the 7 bike. Looks like Sam Coulthard is trying to get round the outside of Slade Fordyce as they come through the start-finish straight once again. Sam Coulthard gets his nose in front of Slade Fordyce. And Alexia Askew there in that 3rd place. They've got 1 lap left to go. And it's still Sam Coulthard in the lead from Slade Fordyce and Alexia Askew. So another good win here for Sam. Sam Coulthard on the 41 bike takes the win from the 9 of Slade Fordyce and the 7 of Alexia Askew. Move up now into the junior solos, the 200 class. Heat 4 for these fellas. This one sponsored by Riverside Rentals Limited. And we will see Lucas Colvin on the 21 bike in gate 1. The 25 of Ryan Colvin in gate 2. The 10 of Corey Russell in gate 3. And the 28 of Hayden Brookland out here in gate 4. So they're underway. 48153. So, sorry folks, I just got a wee bit sidetracked there. 21, Ryan Colvin leading the way from the 25 of Lucas Colvin. Hayden Brookland sliding up into 2nd place there. So it's the 21 of Lucas Colvin still leading the way from the 28 of Hayden Brooklyn and the 25 of Ryan Colvin. Then we've got Corey Russell in that 4th place. So a good win to the 21 of Lucas Colvin. He was trying to, Ryan Colvin tried to overhaul Hayden Brooklyn there as they crossed the start-finish line. I'm not too sure who got that second spot, to be honest with you. The 21, 28, 25, I think, was the way it finished. Right, junior solos, 125s. This one sponsored by Rogers Motorcycles. Got the 53 of Jacob Vorkamp down there in gate 1, and beside him Cormac Buchanan on the 14, and the 11 of Tyler Bain Hoy. Once again, Cormac Buchanan, out he comes and hits the front from Tyler Bain Hoy there in that 2nd spot. 3rd place is Jacob Vorkamp on that 53 bike. So Cormac Buchanan slides his way through turns 3 and 4 once again. Whoops, down goes Jacob Vorkamp. Just while we sort this out, folks, if you thought you had the winning ticket, you haven't. The prize has been claimed, and a very generous $200 donation back to the club from Phil Reid. So thank you for that, Phil. You're a gentleman and a scholar. So that 50-50 raffle has been claimed. So just the 2 of them left in this, the Rogers Motorcycle sponsored heat of the Junior Solos 125. Tapes go once again, and Cormac Buchanan straight to the front from Tyler Bain Hoy on that 11 bike. So young Cormac, he's using all the track. Young Tyler Bain Hoy keeps it down low, but Cormac just relishes this. He's flat tack, as it were, right out on the outside edge of the track. Tyler Bain Hoy closes up a little bit. He keeps it down low, but young Cormac Buchanan on that 14 bike will get the white flag. Tyler Bain Hoy still sitting there in that 2nd place. So checkered flag for Cormac Buchanan. 2nd place goes to Tyler Bain Hoy. So, heat 8 for the junior solos, the 125s. This one sponsored by Scarecrow Gardening. We've got the 55 of Dakota Kringle, the 86 of Finn Reid, and the 44 of Mason Coulthard. Oh, Dakota had a bit of a malfunction. That's a shame for Dakota. So it's Finn Reid out in front there from Mason Coulthard. So Finn Reid leading round Mason Coulthard. Two-horse race, the Scarecrow Gardening Limited sponsored heat. Finn Reid and Mason Coulthard. White flag, 1 to go. So it's Finn Reid on that 86 bike who will take the win from the 44 of Mason Coulthard. Coming up is the B final, and the way they've worked this out, this is 5th to 9th position on the points. So we're just waiting for some numbers and some names. Rightio. A-grade solos coming out here for the Seabright Auto sponsored heat. We've got Adam Shuttleworth in gate 1 on the 4 bike, the 11 bike of Jake Gillespie in gate 2, and the 16 of Daniel Shuttleworth in gate 3. So, coats up, away they go. Jake Gillespie and Daniel Shuttleworth got out fairly smartly. Daniel Shuttleworth looks to get round the outside of Jake Gillespie, but it's Jake Gillespie as they head down that Sonos Sound Systems back straight and down through that McLeod diesel turn. It's Jake Gillespie with Daniel Shuttleworth sitting there in second, Adam Shuttleworth sitting there in that third position. Out of that GoPro turn they come. It's still Jake Gillespie leading the way from Daniel Shuttleworth. Oh, Daniel Shuttleworth throws it into the fence, and Adam Shuttleworth goes up into second spot. Daniel's up and away again, almost. It's still Jake Gillespie though. That lead, oh, the red flags come out. So they've stopped this. So they're going to have a rerun here. Line back up again, Jake Gillespie and Adam Shuttleworth. This the Seabright Auto sponsored heat. Tape's going, away they go. Jake Gillespie got out fairly smartly once again. Adam Shuttleworth sitting there in that second position. Through they come. It is Jake Gillespie as he goes down through past that Northside Sand and Gravel sign, and out of that Rogers Yamaha corner they come. It's still Jake Gillespie from Adam Shuttleworth on that 4 bike, the 11 bike and the 4 bike. Only a bike length in it as they come out of the Rogers Yamaha turn. Once again, almost side by side, still Jake Gillespie, Adam Shuttleworth right on his back wheel as they come out of that South Coast Customs turn and down that Extreme Carts back straight once again. Down through that Permacoat roofing turn they come. Oh, Jake Gillespie got a bit unstuck there. Adam Shuttleworth will get the white flag. I'm not sure what happened to Jake. Looked like his bike just suddenly stopped. And Adam Shuttleworth's come to a grinding halt as well. So there you have it, folks. Looks like it's all done and dusted and it was on the last lap. Jake doesn't look like he's too happy. It almost looked like that bike seized, I'm not sure. Adam Shuttleworth's still going. It looks like he's got a flat tyre, has he? No? Yes? Hard to tell. Something dragging off the back of the bike there. I'm not sure what's going on there. Looks pretty much like Adam Shuttleworth ended up with a flat tyre. And I'm not too sure what's happened to Jake. It almost looked like that bike seized. It looked like it almost wanted to launch him over the handlebars. It looked like it just stopped so quickly. Well done, Adam, on a flat tyre. That's why he stopped. And Jake, as I say, it looks like that bike's locked up because it's dragging the back wheel as he pushes it back off the track. Right, So we'll get up to the B final for the sidecars. I can give you some names and gates. Gate 1 is going to be the 24 bike of Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat. Gate 2 is going to be the 3 bike of Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox. Gate 3 is going to be the 44 bike of James Douglas and Harley Biddle. Gate 5 is the 58 bike of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. So for those of you that are writing that into your program, I'll give it to you once again. Gate 1, 24I, Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat. Gate 2, 3 is Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox, the Australian combination. Gate 3 is the 44 of James Douglas and Harley Biddle, that's the 44I bike. Gate 4 is the 6th of Australia, Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield. And Gate 5 is the 58 of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. So this is the B final. The winner of this will go through into the A final. And when I get a chance, I will give you the A final ones as well. So this is do or die for these boys in the B final to get into the A final. The winner of this will go through to the A final. That will be it. So they will all be trying to gain that top spot. So this will be one hell of a race. I can almost feel the tension in the air as they line up here for the Extreme Karts B final for the East Coast Sidecar Roundup. Aidan Twaits, Shane Twiss sitting here in Gate 5. Gate 1, Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat. Jeff Garnham all happy, the rest of them looking good. Tate's going away, they go, oh, the 6 bike, it stalled on the line, Steve Saunders and Chris Chatfield, so that puts them right out of it. So it's the red of Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat that are leading the way at the moment from the bike of James Douglas and Harley Biddle, who've just gone into the front now. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat try to get that lead back as they go down through that Permacoat roofing turn. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat right inside there with James Douglas and Harley Biddle in that second spot. Then it's the Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox sitting in that third position. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat and James Douglas, Harley Biddle. There's no quarter given here as they head. Oh, there's a bit of a tip up. There'll be a red flag. Well, the pressure's well and truly on. It'll be hard for me to preempt anything, but the referees and judges will sort this out. Oh no, it's going to be the final of the B grade. I thought I'd been misinformed once again, but nevertheless. So Devlin Joseph down in Gate 1 on the 15 bike. In beside him, the 48 of Pat Dysart, the 46 of Jimmy Hannon in Gate 3. Zane Pay out here in Gate 4 on the 9 bike, and Phil Coulthard on the 29 bike. This one's sponsored by Southern City Meat Processors, tapes up and away they go. Looks like Pat Dysart was the first one into the turn, but going round the outside of him, it looked like it's Zane Pay, then Devlin Joseph, then Pat Dysart. That's the way they run as they head past that north side sand and gravel sign and come through turns 3 and 4. It looks like Zane Pay leading the way from in second place, Pat Dysart. Third place is Phil Coulthard. Fourth place is Phil Hannon. Jimmy Hannon, sorry. Through they come once again. It is the 9 of Zane Pay. The 48 of Pat Dysart in second place. Third place is the 29 of Phil Coulthard. Devlin Joseph and Jimmy Hannon both infield. The white flag comes out. Zane Pay got a handy lead over Phil Coulthard on that 29 bike, and the 48 of Pat Dysart sitting there in that third position. So a good win there to Zane Pay. He'll take the win and take it comfortably from Phil Coulthard on the 29 bike in second spot, and the 48 bike of Pat Dysart in that third position. As I say, that one sponsored by Southern City Meat Processors. So this is the Solo Classics. This one sponsored by South Coast Customs. So Les Payne and Joe Hughes and Derek McRae lining up here. This is heat 4 for these boys. This is race 53 in the program. Hopes up, they're underway. Derek McRae got away fairly smartly. So too Les Payne. Joe Hughes is right there as well. So it's Derek McRae as they go down that extreme carch back straight for the first time. Through that permacoat roofing turn they go. It is Derek McRae leading the way from Les Payne and Joe Hughes. There's been no change as they come down through this start-finish straight. Still Derek McRae from Les Payne and Joe Hughes. So Derek McRae gets shown the white flag, 1 to go. Les Payne still there in that second spot. Joe Hughes still there in that third position. Down that extreme carch back straight they go once again. And we'll see a checkered flag for Derek McRae on that 71 bike. Second place, the 91 of Les Payne. And third place, the 69 of Joe Hughes. Right, as a result of what happened in that B final, Steve Saunders, Chris Chatfield, they stall on the line. They can't come back in. And Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat have been excluded. So that will leave Hamish Golding, Liam Cox in gate 2 on the number 3 bike. Gate 3 will be the 44 of James Douglas and Harley Biddle. And gate 5 will be the 58 of Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. Now, for those of you that have been taking note and following what's been going on, in the A final, we will have the 39 of Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox. They will go out of gate 2. The 2 bike of Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell will go out of gate 1. The 1 Australia is Trent Headland and Daz Whitson. They will go out of gate 3. And the 95 of Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin will go out of gate 4. Now the winner of the B final, whoever that may be, will come out of gate 5 in that A final. So if you want to write that into your program, I'll give them to you once again. The A final consists of The 2 of Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell from Gate 1. Gate 2 is the 39 of Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox. Gate 3 is the number 1 bike of Trent Headland and Daz Wetson. And Gate 4 is the 95 bike of Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin. And this heat of the Extreme Karts East Coast Sidecar Roundup, sponsored by Radley Haulage. Just waiting for these bikes to come around and line themselves up. So James Douglas and Harley Biddle making their way into Gate 3. Out on Gate 5 here, Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. And down in Gate 2, the 3 bike of Hamish Golding and Liam Cox. Oh, Hamish Golding and Liam Cox just getting fired up again. So here we go, folks. Don't forget, the winner of this goes through to the A final. 3 bikes left in it. One of them can only be the winner. Looks like Hamish Golding and Liam Cox just having a wee rolling problem there. Looks like they're holding it. Tapes up, they're underway. Who gets the best of it? Hamish Golding and Liam Cox over the ones first out of the gate. In that second spot, it is the James Douglas and Harley Biddle. In third place, Shane Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. So through that Seaverite Autos turn they come. It's Hamish Golding and Liam Cox that lead the way. From the 44 of James Douglas and Harley Biddle, and Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss round them out in that third position. Hamish Golding, Liam Cox. Through that South Coast Customs turn they come. Sliding and making it look as so easy. Down through this Arrow Upholstery front straight they come. Out of that north side sand and gravel turn they go. Not much between them and James Douglas and Harley Biddle, who are sitting there in second place. Third place is Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss. Through they come, the white flag will come out. Still Hamish Golding and Liam Cox, who now have opened it up a little bit over James Douglas and Harley Biddle as they head down that Extreme Karts back straight for the final time. And it looks like they're going to be the ones that go through to the A final. It's James Douglas and Harley Biddle still there in second, and Aidan Twaits and Shane Twiss still there in that third spot. But we have found the winner. It's Hamish Golding and Liam Cox, who will go through to that A final. Well done to them. Put your hands together for those boys. So folks, there'll be a wee short interlude here while these boys refuel their bikes and get a bit of a breather and cool their clutches, etc. down a little bit before they come out for this A final. So that's Hamish Golding and Liam Cox, who will make the grade through to the A final. So Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell on the 2 bike, they will go out of Gate 1. Gate 2 is Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox. Gate 3 will be Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone. Gate 4 is Irwin Tree and Brett Pubbin. And Gate 5 is Hamish Golding and Liam Cox. This, the Extreme Karts A final of the East Coast Sidecar Roundup. Almost ready to get underway. A little bit of gardening to be done by Liam Cox here as they fill up this Gate 5. Everybody else sitting happy, looking good. Jeff Garnham happy, everyone happy. Takes up and away they go. Who gets the best of it? From the inside, it looked like it was Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell that looked like they got the best of it. Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox, they've gone up into that second place. Third place, it looks like it's Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone. They've gone through into second now. Third place, oh, there's a red flag. What's happened? I'm getting a bit of glare through this window here and I'm missing a bit. Oh no, somebody stopped down in that ATEC, in front of that ATEC sign there. That's the 3 bike, is it, of Hamish Golding and Liam Cox. Looks like they struck a problem down there. Not sure what went on. I missed that. I've got quite a bit of glare coming in this window and very, very hard to pick them up as they shot away. So it looks like they're all back in. As I say, I'm just not too sure what happened down there in that turn 2 there with Hamish Golding and Liam Cox. Irwin Tree, Brett Pubbin, quite happy where they are. Moving up into place. Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone moving into place. Shane Hudson, Cameron Bell down there in Gate 1. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox slipping into that Gate 2. Hamish Golding, Liam Cox coming through. Oops, the 2 bike of Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell. A bit of a stop once again. Just doing a wee bit of gardening. Getting a line to get out the gate. Right, Jeff Garnham lining them up here, all happy, green light on, tapes up and away they go. Who gets the best of it? From the inside, it looked like Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell as they coast out of that McLeod diesel turn. In second place, Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox. Then we've got Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone. Oh, they get it all wrong and get all out of shape. Through they come. It is the 2 bike of Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell that lead the way. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox are sitting there in third. It looks like Irwin Tree and Brett Pubbin sitting there in that third position. Fourth place is the bike of Andrew Buchanan, fourth place is the red yellow helmet, the 3 bike of Trent Headland and Daz Whetstone. So down that back straight they go once again. Through they come, that 3 Brown Builders turn. It's the Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell that lead the way. Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox just about go around and go to the infield. So that lets Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin up into that second spot. Then we've got the bike of Trent Headland and Daz Whitson, who will finish in that third position. Another one came to grief. That was Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox. Sorry about that, folks. It's very, very difficult to see through this glass at this time of the night, the way that sun is. I was having extreme glare issues. Very, very hard to pick them up. But the winner, Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell, they take the win from number one. Trent Hadlin and Daz Whitson have been excluded. So Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell have taken the win. Second place then would go to Erwin Tree and Brett Pubbin, does it? In second spot. Third place would be no one, because Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox went infield and Hamish Goulding and Liam Cox did not finish the race either. So put your hands together for them, folks. Shane Hudson and Cameron Bell have come out the victors here at the Extreme Karts East Coast Sidecar Roundup Showdown across the ditch here at the Seabright Autos Oreti Park Speedway. Fantastic stuff from those boys. They put on a fantastic show. Each and every one of these Aussies have done an absolutely fantastic job, and they will be so pleased with themselves. Put your hands together, folks, as he gets it going round and round. Great stuff from Shane Hudson. Yeehaw!
All right, okay, so this man here, bit of an unlucky, Hamish, it's just not your day at the office.
No, well, he started off good, got second to Andrew and got excluded, and you know, had a couple of things not go away. Then we had a couple of wins, so we skimmed into the B, and that was a hell of a fight to get through that one. You know, Kiwi boys are definitely on the money here, being at home. So, yeah, got through that one, and then doing the two races back to back, actually, bit of me Warren Looms let me down. So as we were coming into the turn, it seemed like we're running out of fuel. So I think I burnt a bit, and then pulled up, and you could smell the melted wires. So. Yeah, a bit of a knock maybe, might have knocked something loose and that we took in the B final, but no, awesome, happy just to make the final today. Got to thank my sponsors, buddy Sign Time, Kevin Luby back home. He's done all the sign writing on my bike and does you know, anything and everything we always ask for him. Even any of the boys back home, he's one of the top blokes back there. But yeah, and like awesome venue, awesome buddy racing. What a spectacle.
We've got another couple of weeks of it yet, so it's even better, isn't it? Of course, off the beachlands, and it's all important next Saturday. So I suppose for you guys, may not have done the job today, but it's certainly going to pay off for you coming into next Saturday with the, you know, with the Australia versus New Zealand, the final.
That's it, you know, like what's broken, there's nothing I can't fix. So we'll be back and better and stronger, and we'll have another go. So. Well
done, mate. Congratulations. Shane Hudson, of course, the winner of the sidecar deal here today, mate. There must have been a pretty sort of a scary situation with, you know, especially having to start the race twice there, but bounce back, no problem at all.
Yeah, mate. It's always good to make the start, and it's even better when you can do it twice in a row, you know. And no, I felt good. I actually felt really good all night, you know. So, yeah.
I mean, I was just talking to the other Aussie guy, Hamish, and he said, mate, it was bloody hard work out there, and you know, you really had to come here and earn that win, didn't you?
Yeah, mate. It's you know, we rode yesterday at Moore Park and started having dramas. The kill switch was earthing out and that, and you know, I haven't ridden this bike in 11 months, so it's fucking. Oh, sorry. It's all right. No, it's good to jump back on it, and yeah, I think the Suzuki back home might be getting parked up a bit more.
So what's it mean for you to be able to come over here to New Zealand and win this deal today?
Oh, mate, it's great, you know what I mean? You know, I can't thank everyone that's helped out enough, you know. Paul, Joe, Slady, Jeff, you know. Yeah, everyone's, you know, got right behind it, Twatesy, and I can't thank Craig Blackett putting me up when we were up at Christchurch, and also Shane Twist for, you know, helping us out while we're down here. And, yeah, it's it's really good to be a part of it, you know. And I come over in January up to North Island, and man, I wasn't decided if I was going to come here, and I left there and went to hospitality in New Zealand. You know, it's so good. I actually messaged Jeff when I was over there. I said, yeah, mate, put me down now. So.
Well, the thing is that you've come to the real Speedway. You know, this is Oreti Park Speedway, mate. This is where the bike racing really does happen in New Zealand. Those other tracks, they only sort of, you know, try to replicate what we do down here.
No, I'll definitely back on what you just said just then, because no, it's definitely a great facility down here, and it'd be great to see a world title here in the future.
Oh, we'd like to see that too, mate. So got some sponsors to look after you, man?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Botany Bay Mechanical and Eli Up Motorcycles, AMS Mechanical. Also, I'd like to thank Goldie, you know, and Cam, doing a big job, and also my dad and Botany Bay Mechanical Gorby coming over. You know, it's actually good to have my dad and Gorby in the pits. You know, I normally go with our own crew. You know, so no, I'm pleased that we're going to be having a few beers tonight.
Absolutely, you probably earned them too, eh? It's been a hard couple of days, isn't it?
100%. Don't need much of an excuse.
Good as, thanks, mate, and congratulations on the win.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Alrighty, they've got another man here who's done a fantastic job as well today, mate. This was awesome. Tree, you know, Erwin, we've got Mike Zahn, who's been, you know, texting hard out, going, tell that boy this, tell that boy that. No, we didn't have to tell you anything. I think it's sort of maybe that reset did you the world of good, gave you opportunity to get second spot, mate. These are the best of the best in the world, man. You ranking up with these guys. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's pretty speechless, but the thing is you know, it was even just an honour just to be in with these guys, and like I said to Spud before, I said it's the busiest first corner I've ever been in my life, and to do it twice and manage to come out second after that, it was amazing.
You do a lot of talking for a man that's speechless.
Oh, you got to do that sometimes. You know, sometimes it just takes a bit to sink in, but no, it's really, really cool.
So the bike been performing pretty good all day. Setups have been okay. A couple of races there you sort of want to forget, but obviously you made it to that final, and that was the key for the day.
Yeah, no, making the final straight up was the key. One of the races was real slippery. It was quite funny when we come home. We were coming home from Christchurch last night, and Brett goes, "Should we just set the bike up angry and see if we can hold on to it?" Well, that's what we've done, and holy heck, it just wants to go.
Do you feel that it's going to be able to compete with these guys? I mean, probably the worst thing for you lot is the fact that these guys now had a run here at Oreti Park. They know what the track's going to do. Do you think that it might be just that wee bit more difficult next weekend when it really counts? Yeah, no, it will be a bit difficult. It's going to be every race meeting is different. Everybody's beatable. Like we might have a crap weekend next weekend. You just never know. It's just one of those things, and getting the setup on the day is the hardest thing. Well, the boys from Australia, we've been speaking to them, they said you've been very good at being able to give them a lot of information. Have you given them all the information? Oh, no, you don't give out everything, mate. You never give out everything. All right, Brett, so that was awesome, mate, and you must have enjoyed that as well. I mean, you had, Australia #1 behind you. That wouldn't happen very often in a race meeting.
Yeah, no, that's unreal. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
You're a bit blown away by it all?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Good stuff. Good sponsors too, Aaron, that look after you, mate. Yep, the big one, David Newfield Autos, Great Osborne Engineering and Bluff. The team at Cleanways, John Siverite Panel and Paint, Vantage Signs, Southern Ocean Safety and Bluff, Top Line Speedway Supplies, which was my own business, little business. Mark and the team at Dunright Decorating, K&D Automotive, and the Wilbur Ellis as well. But yeah, the big one is I managed to come through and sneak a hat off Dave as he's walking past, so it's quite good to have it on the screen for him. Absolutely. Hey, well, congratulations, guys. Second spot. Well done, man. Awesome job. Cheers. Awkward moment otherwise, eh?